Good evening, everyone, and welcome to USC 2022 Grand Finals. It has been a long and winding road to get to the door, but we are here. It is Florida, it is SoCal, it is the match for all the marbles. I'm T1G. Joining me is going to be iFlame for what should be an epic match. Welcome.
Thank you. Definitely should be an epic match. Like you said, Grand Finals, we are down to 2 states, and this match will determine which state is the best state of all time. Indisputably, but let's start by talking about these two teams. On the red team, we have got Florida coming from the winner's bracket: Exarch, Digital Hypno, Ramton, Almighty Door, Crescento, and Araxi. Tell us a little bit about this team.
Well, Florida, of course, defending champions from 2021. We get a rematch of the Grand Final featuring some very new faces to this Florida team. Of course, they ran back Exarch, Digital Hypno, Almighty Door, guys who really don't need much in the way of introduction. But they brought in this year Ramton for some speed, and Crescento and Araxi for kind of a variety of skill sets. Those guys have been in for a bunch of different picks. They're able to play, aim. They're able to play some hard rock. In the case of Crescento, he's been a really solid performer for them. And I think it rounds out their roster to replace the departed players of Skill Fleslin and the other one who I'm forgetting offhand pretty well. Obviously, it's done fine to get them to the Grand Finals from winner's side.
On the other blue team, we have got SoCal, Matthew, Utami, Lego Kami, Your Cute Headstack, and Shazaron. And this, of course, as everybody knows, has just been the Utami show for most of the tournament. They did have a little bit of a fumble against Washington, I believe in the quarterfinals, but even in that match, Utami was popping off, top scored almost every single map, and just didn't have the supporting combo. And so Utami has facing his toughest composition yet up against Exarch and Digital Hypno, so gonna have a little bit of a tougher time carrying today. This is the team that loves the DTs, loves the free mods especially, and I think on the Grand Finals pool, they are going to be looking maybe to pick skill cap maps and just let Utami do his thing.
Yeah, that definitely seemed to be the case last night. I mean, Utami, everybody that was around for that match saw it. It was a 7-0 sweep, and Utami top scored every single map. We're at a stage in the tournament where this pool has gotten incredibly difficult, and so having a player like Utami on your team is incredibly valuable. SoCal banned out kind of those long consistency picks yesterday, and then picked into some really difficult maps. They picked like that hidden one, which is just super difficult reading overlaps. They picked the hidden 2, which is a hidden flow aim with some really difficult kind of cut streams and aim patterns as well. And they picked a couple of DTs, like you said. They're a team that likes some of the speed. They're a team that likes anything that takes players out of kind of a basic skill set comfort zone and puts the ball more squarely into Utami's court to try to carry.
Yep. And I believe we do just have the the classic warm up. I think we can safely guess whose warm up this is. name of the song helps out. But while we go through the warm-ups, do you have any thoughts on this pool?
Well, I think, you know, what I said is basically how I feel about the pool, right? Where it's really, really difficult, and that plays into Utami specifically really well. I think they have decent but not amazing backing scores for him. Obviously, they were more than competent last night enough to take the sweep win. But I think a pool like this will allow the fact that Florida is a pretty rounded team with a very high skill floor to be able to find some picks, and maybe some of those maps that SoCal won yesterday by small margins, maybe Florida can exploit that a little bit with just having maybe one or two more players, you know, that are able to provide a good backing score.
Yeah, one thing that does stand out to me about this pool is kind of the lack of conventional aim picks. It does feel like there's a lot of flow aim, a lot of very awkward and fast aim, but in terms of just like, you know, pure kind of more conventional aim, you've got Fremont 2, and that's kind of about it. I mean, Hard Rock 1 is a little bit more conventional in terms of aim, but comes with the caveat of also being CS like 8 or something, and then the other map you have is GT4, which is also a little bit more conventional in terms of aim, but 300 BPM first on that one. So if you just want a pure aim map, you don't have a whole lot of options. And I do want to talk about SoCal's bans real quickly before we get into the bans. Last time around, banned Fremont 4, Hard Rock 1, and what I noticed immediately about these two maps is that they are just the two longest maps in the pool. Fremont 4, 6 minutes for some reason. Hard Rock 1 is 5 minutes. And when you actually look at the skill sets of the two teams that were playing yesterday, I feel like those bans don't make a ton of sense strategically. And I almost feel like SoCal is probably just pretty confident in that match and didn't want to play either of the longer maps. So I do expect them to change up their bans in this match today. Maybe we see them ban out something more like possibly speed, possibly streams, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think, you know, as you said, the Fremont 4 and Hard Rock 1 was like, these maps are long. That was it. They didn't think, I don't believe much more about it than that. But yeah, something, the speed skill set, you know, against a Florida team that has players like Dor and like Rampton, who are very, very good speed players, might be something that SoCal wants to get rid of. But, I mean, I think when you're SoCal and you're considering kind of your picks and bans, like, you always know that you have that X factor in the knowledge that Utami is likely to top score a ton of different styles of picks. So you have that ability to be a little bit more comfortable with a wider range of picks than maybe some other teams, just because you know that the like score floor is really low for these maps. Like, there are people flipping 200, 300k and stuff. And so knowing that you have somebody who's going to get 500-600k probably at a minimum, unless he's on a really bad day, kind of opens the pool back up a little bit more. So even if they do want to just keep getting rid of the couple of long picks, they'll have at least him and probably one other player who can put up a competitive score against Florida.
For sure. And I think what does make this match a little bit harder for SoCal is the fact that you have, you know, Xarc and Digital Hypno on the other team versus Florida. You have Monko, who is kind of like the one main carry you're kind of worried about, but Utami clearly has been the best player in this tournament, able to match that no problem. But you're up against two very strong players that can potentially put up good scores as well. It gets a little bit tougher, and all of a sudden, SoCal needs to have a little bit better supporting combos to take points in this one as opposed to yesterday's match.
Yeah, it was so huge for anybody who watched like last year in the grand finals. You know, like I said, it was this same matchup in the same order. Like, it was Florida from the winners bracket, South California from the losers bracket, and Digital Hypno had like the match of his life in that grand finals, and really reminded us what a player like him is capable of in these late, even in these super late round pools. So I do think you're right in that SoCal will need better scorers backing up Utami, because Florida will have a couple of players who are likely to do well. And I'm really curious what we end up getting into with the bans and picks this time around, because, like you said, we may well see some different things getting picked and banned than we did yesterday. And it's a quick DT3 first ban.
Seems like it. I do wonder if we're gonna see a potentially something like a No Mod 3 ban out of Florida. SoCal has looked very good on the stream packs throughout the tournament so far, but maybe not. They haven't gone toward it in the last, and they're just gonna be banning out Free Mod 4 again. They just don't want to play the long maps, so maybe it is there is some strategy behind it, and they just are not good at the map. But I mean, I don't think you ever ban out a map just because it's long against a team like Florida.
Yeah, I actually, against Florida, now that I'm thinking about it, that ban kind of does make a little bit of sense, because Exarch is like hidden stream legend. So, and they probably have Digital Hypno and like one other person, I'm not sure, maybe not even Hibby, but they'll have like other people as well. So like it's actually kind of a legit ban if you're afraid that the other team might be good at it on like mod players, where your team might only have one player who's strong on it.
Exactly, and we could definitely see, potentially could have seen Digital Hypno just take Hard Rock on that and have the last fill player, but we are going to be getting the No Mod 3 ban, so actually what I predicted, do not want to go into those kind of faster streams against SoCal. That is the kind of thing that not only Utami can pop off on, but I think a player like Headstack, even Yercute, can put up some decent scores on.
And then No Mod 4 is going to be the second ban this time from SoCal. So they do change their second ban. They keep the Free Mod 4, but they go to No Mod 4 instead of Hard Rock 1. So they get rid of the just kind of wild tech, I guess, pick, like slider heavy map. I think that is a little confusing to me, actually. I don't know who you're super scared of on Florida on that map. I don't think of any of those members as like a particular tech player.
No, I mean, I think it makes sense that they switched up from the Hard Rock ban. I don't think Florida has anyone that's particularly scary on Hard Rock compared to SoCal. But the switch up to the No Mod 4 specifically is definitely unexpected.
And we'll see what the first pick ends up being.
And I'm
from
wondering
SoCal.
if we just see something like, I think it was a DT3 pick that SoCal looked really good on yesterday. I think it was Utami and Headstack, or Lego Kami, sorry, both getting FCs on that. Their third player at 600k, so 2.6 mil the team score, and I'd imagine you probably feel fairly comfortable picking that.
Yeah, their pick order was Hidden 1 DT4, Hidden 2 Nomad 2 yesterday, but I don't think you first pick the Hidden 1 again. So they're going to flip the order, and they're going to go Nomad 2 first pick. So the incredibly awkward aim -45 map, Reishiki, mapped by -45 himself, is going to be the first pick.
I think this map is the definition of awkward aim. It really just does not get any more awkward than this. And I don't dislike this pick. Obviously, Utami was the standout performer on it yesterday, getting 500k, which is pretty incredible for the map. But Matthew was there to put up some pretty good supporting combo. Matthew, throughout the tournament, has been looking good on some of these more awkward aim picks, and so is going to be looking to put up a good score. Instead, I imagine they're going to have Yercute filling once again. Lineup less clear for Florida, but I guess it's decided already.
Yeah, Dor, Habib, or Raxi. I mean, Habib, good aim player. Raxi, good aim player. Dor, good at basically everything. So I think that lineup makes a lot of sense. And yeah, same roster as yesterday for Team SoCal. This is like such a scary map because the aim is just so hard and unrelenting. It lasts, the patterns for a really, really long time.
Yeah,
but,
this map does not give you a break whatsoever.
Well, this is going to tell us a lot, I think, these early couple picks. We'll see which team can kind of get into the flow of things, maybe pick up a little momentum early on. It's SoCal first pick, winning 7-0 yesterday, feeling pretty good about that match. But going up against a team that took them down last year, that eliminated them to win the tournament in Florida, never to be counted out regardless of how high skill cap this pool might be. So in we go. Utami broke in the first 10 combo again, just like he did yesterday.
all about getting rid of the nerves. Yurikyu, meanwhile, still holding on, but we haven't really gotten to the trickiest part of the map, though. The first part of the map is difficult, but very doable. Second part of the map gets a lot harder, and we do see big misses. Digital Hypno, Utami, and Matthew gonna give the advantage back over to Florida. Almighty Door and Araxi still holding FCs. And You're Cute missed somewhere in the mix as well.
Yeah, this is... the heck? What?
Welcome, Dio, to the
hi,
podcast.
Dio. Okay, hello. Out of nowhere, Dio off the top rope. Yeah, this is really scary if you're SoCal. I mean, almost halfway through, the lead is not very big, but Door and Araxi are holding big combos, and there's literally zero combo on the side of SoCal. It gets really hard, but there's just not the combo on SoCal to bring this back at all.
He finds a really big drop though, and there goes Digital Hypno. All of a sudden, all the combos are gone for the side of Florida. Utami has recovered nicely, but needs to hold on through this ending, which is so brutal because they are down by 100,000 still. Utami has a lot of work to put in, but the misses are there for Florida. They can make the comeback here.
This is Utamiville once again. He hit this entire ending yesterday as the last map of the match to close out Washington. It's still a third of the map to go. There is still a decent amount of time, but look at the combo difference. Nobody on Florida over 90, and Utami's is at 300. That score gap's going to come back, especially with this little freer combo section. This is the scary part about facing a player like that, is he can do things like this. It's a full reset from Florida, and Utami holds on. He takes the lead over for SoCal.
Yeah, Matthew and Yurku doing exactly what you'd expect. Matthew actually improving the score from yesterday as well, and Utami, slight underperformance compared to yesterday, but supporting combo is there, and they're going to be able to take this one with Utami. I mean, this is just ridiculous. The ending of this map is so hard. Finally finds the miss, but...
oh, man. That was the clutch combo.
Yes, it was, and we are starting off the top score counter nice and early.
Let's see what the final score ends up being. It's a nice, solid 4... Oh, he's like 100 points shy of that 500K. But it's more than good enough. He actually outscored himself from yesterday by 20,000 points, because of course he did. Despite how poorly the first part of that map went, he missed the hard part. And, well, SoCal, it was their first pick. They are expected to be able to win that. However, the way they won it is a little frightening if Utami's on another day like he was yesterday.
I mean, it certainly is. And 180,000 points doesn't sound like a lot, but on a map this hard where everybody's getting low scores for the most part, it is actually quite a big difference because Utami is pretty much double the score of everybody else in the lobby. And we're going to get a DT2 pick from Florida. Does make a lot of sense. This is going to be AR 10.53, so maybe we see Lego Kami in for this one.
Yeah, this was not played. This was completely ignored yesterday. It was not picked or banned. So this is going to be our first time seeing it this weekend. Very, very... It's like, I feel like this map is faster than its BPM. I mean, it's 264, which is fast anyway, but the bursts in this play so fast and the aim is pretty tricky. So if you're a team like Florida who has players like Crescento and Rampton who are very good on this higher BPM DT stuff, I think this is a pretty solid first pick.
Yeah, honestly though, it's just this kind of slider sections to watch out for. The aim itself in this map I don't think is too bad as long as you're comfortable reading the AR 10.5, which to be fair, is not going to be everybody, I don't think.
There's a lot of people who don't have the greatest time. In fact, apparently all of SoCal doesn't have a great time with this because they're all gone. There is no SoCal. I don't know who actually necessarily plays this from their team. I mean, Utami +2, but whoever those two are.
I want to say You're Cute and Lego Kami in for this one. I think Lego Kami has been their kind of go-to DT player, especially in the later stages, aside from Utami. And You're Cute as well. Often a fill player on the DTs. It's either You're Cute or Headstack, one of the two. And we're going to be getting Headstack and Matthew? Utami
no
out for this?
shot. There's maps Utami doesn't play in this pool? What?
Okay, we're getting baited.
All right, we got baited. Utami's in. Okay, I thought so. Comes in to replace Headstacks. It's Utami, Matthew, and You're Cute. I was like, yeah, there's no way that Utami's not perma lobby for this match. All right, let's see how this goes. Florida's first pick. Want to get off on the right foot with a quick DT. A minute and a half. This one's very, very short, so don't blink because you might miss the score changing by 200K.
Yeah,
dude, where's Boggles? We need Boggles.
We really do. Ramton has looked really good so far on the DTs, and especially in the last round, but Matthew going to be fighting the first miss.
You're cute following as well, so that's 2 early breaks for SoCal, and Florida looking pretty strong. Rampton, I mean, this is why he's on the team, is for the fast BPM, the high BPM, fast DTs and speed picks like this, and kind of showing that off early, depending on how he can hit the slider patterns. Well, the answer to that is not well, as he and Khabib both break, but Crescento is holding on, so that is matching Utami, 2 FCs in the lobby, dead even on the other players. That score is going to maintain pretty even. Was that a slider break from Utami? Oh, man.
I think it was, just missed on the slow slider right before the break. Florida has the FC, has the supporting combos, and there's only a quarter of the map left to go. Yurku finding a miss. There goes Digital Hypno as well, but it doesn't matter as long as Crescento holds, and so they're going to be getting a pretty big lead here. That's probably just going to be the point.
Yeah, this is just all Crescento. He is actually shredding at the moment, currently, live on stage. Very impressive stuff from him. Like, regardless of whether he pulls off the FC at the end now, it's a foregone conclusion as to who's going to win this. This is a heck of an FC in match, to be honest. Like, this is really impressive stuff. And he does it. Wow. It's a 500k win for Florida on the back of Crescento's FC.
Yeah, what a way to start the match.
Yeah. That is the first non-top score for Utami in now 9 maps in Grand Finals week. And it's Crescento saying, "Hi guys, I'm here. I can top score things as well."
Yep. Somebody has to dethrone the king. Meanwhile, it is SoCal with the next pick, and I definitely think they're going to be staying away from the DT after that one.
Yep. Well, they could feasibly go DT4 still, but wait, which DT was banned? I'm sorry.
It was DT3.
DT3, yes. They strictly speaking could still go DT4, but yeah, I don't think you go straight there now.
I think there's a chance you go for something like the hidden 3.
Depends on whether your team is having a good, that kind of like low BPM swing rhythm kind of day, because that's a little bit of a niche skill set.
It is. And even the HD1 feels like something Utami could put up a really good score on, but
you're scared of Door.
Exactly.
You're scared of Door, and you're scared of Digital Hypno, I think, on that. I don't actually know. I mean, like, they've got Hidden 2, Hidden 1 from yesterday if they do want to pick either of those in this match. I don't know if SoCal feels as great on Hidden as they did against Washington.
Yeah, I think it's really tough to speculate on the picks for this match because it doesn't feel like either of these teams have very obvious strengths over the other. It feels like a lot of these maps, while you might slightly favor them one way or the other, there's none that's like feel super decisive, and it is going to be the HR2, and it is going to be a little bit more of a standard hard rock map, a little bit more streamy for sure.
Yeah, this is a pretty fast, there are a decent number of streams, a couple of those tricky 1/3 patterns, a little bit of difficult aim. What's interesting, of course, about this map in particular is that it was Washington's first pick against SoCal yesterday. Obviously, SoCal won it, but it required Utami to put up an 842k with nobody else in the lobby getting over 460k, and neither of his teammates getting over 335k. So it feels like you're putting a lot of eggs in the Utami basket picking a map like this.
We certainly are, because it's not just that Utami had the top score, but his 2 teammates bottom scored the lobby. And so Washington were actually pretty close to winning that one. And when you consider that the players on Florida are probably a little bit better than on Washington, it gets really scary. And there's a lot of pressure on either Utami 2FC or Headstack to put up a better performance. I think we're going to see Matthew getting replaced on this one.
Yeah, Utami, Logokami, and Headstack. Digital Hypno, Crescento, Exarch is such a scary roster on this type of pick, though. Like, hard rock, kind of streamy aim, they are all quite good at this type of map. So, I feel that this is This is relatively risky, I think, for such an early pick. I mean, they won it by what, like 170K yesterday against Washington. And that was with Washington putting up like not a super great score. Like the score Washington put up was not as good as what I would expect from Florida. So we will see how things go.
Yep, 1.5 mil for SoCal, the score to beat for both teams actually. And we're gonna see early chain misses from Lego Okami, sorry, dropping a ton of accuracy here, and double miss on the side of Florida, trading it back 2 FCs to 1 now early on.
Yeah, those 220 BPM bursts can catch you out if you're not like 100% prepared for them. That is pretty quick, especially on the HR. Several breaks actually already for Crescento, not having the greatest of time, especially coming off that FC on the last pick.
And honestly, on the side of SoCal, you have the FCs on exactly where you want them. Utami and Headstack are the go-to Hard Rock players for them, and so those are the players you feel like are going to be able to hold on to the full combos. Digital Hypno now finding the miss, that's huge.
Yep, that was kind of the wall trying to hold off, SoCal. It is a break to follow from Hunter, from Headstack. But Digital Hypno and Xark both break immediately after, so it's just Crescento. Meanwhile, Utami still holding, and Lego Kami with a pretty solid recovery combo. There goes Crescento. No combo on Florida. We're only halfway through, but this is kind of starting to be out of reach pretty soon.
Yeah, 250,000 and Utami still holding the full combo. 0 combo anywhere on the side of Florida. So even if Utami misses, there's not really much combo to come back with. And it feels like, all dozen eggs are in Utami's basket on this one.
Utami is fine with that. He does not seem to be concerned with the pressure of being the player who has to perform. He just goes in, puts his head down, goes to work, and pulls off really solid scores pretty much time and time again. And you can see that here. It's 1,000 combo, still an FC, 98 AC, and nothing but a 400 combo on Crescento on the other side. I mean, finally a break on the stream at the end. I believe the score is going to come up just a little shy of his score from yesterday, but it's more than enough for another pretty clean point here for SoCal.
Yeah, and just no one on Florida able to match Utami. And I think what has been so great about Utami throughout this whole tournament is it's, there's a lot of players who obviously can put up really impressive scores and get good combos on the maps, but to be able to do it as consistently and as often as Utami is just so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the consistency right there. It was 842K on this map yesterday. It's 829K on this map today. Like, practically identical. Just comes in and knows what he can do on a map and executes on it. And I mean, those are not bad scores from the side of Florida. I mean, they put up, only a 1.1 mil, but like not the worst thing in the world. Just those couple of early chain misses, I think, really sunk their score down. But I mean, when you've got an 830K on the other side, what can you do? That's 2-1. First 3 points just won by the teams picking them. No big deal.
No break points so far. And what can you do is the question Florida is looking to answer with their next pick. I could definitely see them going for maybe a Hard Rock. Both of these teams do feel pretty strong on the free mods as well, so I do think those are going to be pretty hotly contested. But I think with that also comes the idea that both teams are going to be a little bit hesitant to pick free mod into the other, so I don't expect to start really seeing those until we get a little bit later into this match.
Yeah, I mean, like, if one of the other teams felt really good on low AR against the other, then obviously you've got, like, Hidden 1, Free Mod 1, and even technically No Mod 5 as options, though No Mod 5 obviously brings in the precision aspect of it as well. And if somebody feels good about precision, that gives them No Mod 5 and Hard Rock 3. So there's these kind of, like, linked skill sets that I would be interested to see if either team, like, dives into and tries to find an advantage with, rather than being just within a mod pool, being more similar skill sets in different mod pools. And there is that free mod, so you're talking about, maybe being hesitant about it, but Florida saying, no, we'll dive right in. We're going to go free mod 2, and we're going to make Utami try to hard carry this map again like he did yesterday, because that was the reason that SoCal was able to win that map, was Utami putting up similarly to the Hard Rock, an 831K while nobody else got above 450K. Same sort of thing here.
I would actually feel pretty good about this pick from Florida, though. I mean, Tommy's score, what he's capable of on this map, that 800K, and I feel like you don't ever go into this match if you're not confident you can beat them while Utami's getting that 800K score. So I think they've looked at the other two scores from SoCal, who again, Utami's two teammates bottom scored lobby on that map, and they, assuming that those two players get their supporting combos, they feel they can beat that, and does make a lot of sense. I am a little bit surprised not to be seeing either Digital Hypno or Exarch in for this one. I'm curious who's going to be taking the Hard Rock. Probably going to be Crescento.
Yeah, I think this is Crescento, Hard Rock, and
Mighty Door Hidden, surely.
Was it Door Hidden? Yeah. And then, let's see, so yesterday it was, obviously Tommy Nomad, Headsec Hard Rock, and You're Cute on the Hidden, so suspecting we see the same thing. Now, that being said, you know, you talked about the SoCal teammates for Tommy being the bottom score by a big margin. You know, do you see them switch that up for this match, knowing that maybe You're Cute can have a better time if he runs Nomad and Utami switches over to Hidden? Do they make that strategy change, or do they just keep it the same and hope that they'll improve?
I feel like you have to keep it the same. You can't just put that pressure on Utami. You need Utami to put up that 800k score, and so I don't think making his life harder by putting him on the Hidden is ever worth it here. And you just have to hope either Florida doesn't perform as well as they expect to, or we see some better supporting combos for SoCal, and not off to the greatest start.
That started exactly how it did yesterday.
Oh man.
Oh my. All right. Well, it's the Crescento Araxi show, and of course Utami is going to be Utami, but if this goes according to plan for Florida, this will be the example in like perfectly demonstrating why Florida is able to win a match like this, because their skill floor is just higher on these picks than SoCal's, and Utami has already broken multiple times, and we're only a quarter of the way through. Meanwhile, it's still double FC on Crescento and Araxi.
Yeah, and I think Utami, assuming he FCs the rest of the map, which I'm doubtful, the end of this map is so hard, he's getting max 700k, and so already Florida's looking so good, still holding on to 2 full combos, and while there's a lot of map left to go, and this is, of course, the easy part, if you can hold on to sorry, I can't talk today. If you can hold on to the easy part while the other team can't, then you are looking very good, and you've probably done more than enough, because it's just chain misses all over the place for SoCal.
Yeah, they already have a 200k lead for Florida, and that's with, you know, the double FC holding. It's only going to get bigger. This is going to end up being out of reach for SoCal pretty soon if Crescento and Araxi don't both break. This was a very, very good pick, it would appear.
Certainly would. I also want to call out Crescento, still holding the FC on the High Rock.
Yep. This is really difficult with Hard Rock. This is just shy of 8 stars. With 8 stars, finally breaks. Finally breaks.
Does find a miss.
It's okay. Araxi's still holding the FC because that's what he does.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, it's 400k. Like, what can you do? Florida just too strong on this.
Yep, definitely going to be the point for Florida. I think what everybody wants to know now, can Araxi do what Utami couldn't yesterday and secure the FC on the pony map?
Either that or can Utami FC the ending?
That would be impressive either way.
If Araxi doesn't, I want Utami too, just so we can see it happen at least once. But we'll get into this last quarter of the map, and it's not going to happen. Araxi breaks before we even get to the real ending. This is 400k, so it's not comebackable, but still, we want to see what happens with the ending. Yeah, it's just the team score. It's really the duo score. Crescento and Araxi. Oh, whoa.
Okay.
All right. I mean, it doesn't matter, but that was weird. They just all died.
Yeah, pretty much everybody except for Utami had a stroke in the middle of the map or something.
Utami's gonna end up top scoring this now. No.
Yep.
Oh man. And he hits the ending. And it was still a 200k win.
Exactly.
So that's how good Florida is.
Exactly. This is where you see the confidence from Florida to go for that pick despite Utami's 800k from yesterday. Assuming Utami gets 800k on that, Florida wins anyways. It just doesn't matter. And obviously, having SoCal having played 7 maps in this pool yesterday, Florida has quite a bit of information to go off of here.
Yeah, it's really nice to be coming from the winner's side. You get that advantage of seeing the other team play, you know, in this case 7 maps. It's a minimum of 7 maps. and have an idea of what they're capable of on those picks. So, SoCal hasn't adjusted away from maps that Florida has already seen as of yet. We'll see if they end up going that direction at all at some point. But that's a nice 2-2. I mean, 4 straight 1 pick, so it's like clearly competitive teams, which is nice to see.
Yep, 2 competitive teams and both confident in their own picks so far, which you love to see. I also say I think SoCal is very lucky that it is only 7 maps and not 13, which is also a possibility. Because, once you have, 13 maps worth of data, the other team knows how you can perform on 3/4 of the pool already, including the maps that you banned out, which they assume you are not super good on. I'd imagine Florida is going to have that Hard Rock 1 pick in their back pocket, which SoCal banned out last match. Maybe saving it for later, but are just going to be waiting on the pick for SoCal for now.
Yeah, I am curious as to whether this is, something they've already picked or something new, and it's actually, it is going to be something that is new. This was banned by Washington against SoCal yesterday, was the Hidden 3, so we're going to be seeing this for the first time. The Hasplasho, so that is half-slashed and Yaspo. I think everybody kind of knows what to expect out of these maps. They're never normal. They're very strange.
They definitely are pretty strange. This one is kind of alt, kind of fast game. Depends what you prefer, I guess.
I mentioned before that it can be kind of scary to pick Hidden into Florida if you're SoCal, because you have, 1, maybe 2, and a fringe 3, but that's really out there players who are going to do well on a map like this, whereas Florida probably has 3 people who are decently confident in it. It's just, again, that kind of, is our top scoring, likely Utami, going to be good enough to kind of ward off 1.5 to 2 players from Florida's side? I don't know.
I do think SoCal has the kind of hidden lineup to compete. Matthew and YourCube, I think both pretty strong hidden players. The question is less so, which team is better at hidden, and it's more, is SoCal's supporting players in Matthew and YourCube, are they going to be outscaled by the mechanics of this map is more the question that I'm wondering.
Well, that was a quick MP start. I don't even know if the players were ready, but I guess they must have been. So we'll see how they do. Matthew, YourCube joining Utami, Xark Raxi, Almighty Door into a new map in our Hidden 3. This is one of the longer maps in the pool as well, worth noting. It's over 4 minutes on, I guess, No Skip Sunday here today. Are we
One
going?
of these days.
Are we going? Hey, Mr. Client, play nice. Okay, there we go. It's been so long since the map pool showcase. I wish I could remember the intricacies of this pick, but that was 3 weeks ago. So, yeah.
It's been a while, yeah. I will say it is kind of ulty. There is a lot of snappy aim, kind of more jump patterns. Well, lots of kind of zigzag patterns as well, like you see. And you have some early misses. It's an extremely long map. YourCube, Matthew, Xark, and Almighty all dropping. And Utami has dropped as well, so it's just Raxi.
Raxi has been, as he does find a break, has been, kind of a revelation in this tournament to me. I had not really seen him play very much before this USC, and he's been performing quite well on a lot of picks that he's in for. So that is pretty cool to see, and obviously very valuable asset for Florida to have. But it's back to the usual here, status quo, with Utami holding the highest combo in the lobby by 100.
Yeah, and Raxi actually found a miss on the slow section. Usually with the combos so low, that wouldn't really matter, but because everybody is struggling so hard to build up a really big combo, honestly, every miss counts here.
And there's a chain miss from YourCube, just to illuminate that kind of point. You miss a bunch of notes in a row. I mean, you drop combo, you drop some score. It always feels like it matters in the case where the team scores are not very high. And that's a full reset for SoCal. And there is a decent amount of combo in Florida. They're going to bring this back over instantly.
And into the slow section as well. This is just free combo for Florida, free score lead. And regardless of the free combo, it is not free for Matthew and Yerkut, apparently.
Yeah, this just isn't free for anyone, I guess. Almighty Door broke just before the end of the slow part as well. And a big chain miss, Almighty Door and Matthew both, but Exarch is just grinding this out. Finally breaks, but Araxi holds as Utami, Yerkut, and Matthew all miss. And it's just the Araxi show, I guess.
Yeah, another triple reset for SoCal, and this map is really hard. Like, this is a pretty insane combo from Araxi here.
Yeah, the aim in this is so difficult to be consistent on, clearly, as the players are showing. But Araxi,
oh no!
Did he no-lock or something? I'm not even sure what happened there.
I think he just got lazy and under-aimed.
The cursor looked like it was on the circle. I think he tapped it wrong. I'm pretty sure he tapped that wrong. Well, fortunately for Florida's sake, they're up by 140k, and there's no combo on SoCal. There is still a quarter of the map to go. So there's still an opportunity, but that door is kind of creaking shut on SoCal. This could be the first break point here. As Utami Yerkut double break, that might just do it, honestly.
I think so, because it's Almighty now with the highest combo at 200. Not much, but it's more than enough to hold on to the lead.
Yeah, Almighty Door kind of stepping in here once the teammates falter just a bit, and there's not a lot there for SoCal. And we're coming into the ending with a 160k lead for Florida. Is this the break point? This would be pretty big for the momentum and the flow of this match. They can take the 3-2 lead into their own pick. And yeah, this is just going to do it.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing a first break point and going to give some momentum over to Florida. They have the next pick, and if they can obviously put themselves up for two, they're going to be feeling pretty confident, I think, going into the rest of the match. SoCal do not want to give up that 2-point lead.
No. That's boy, that's an impressive team score. If you look at just kind of comparing the scores, right? Door and are actually both outscoring everyone from SoCal, and Exarch barely behind. I mean, 5k behind Utami, and decent amount ahead of Matthew and Yerkut. So that's just, again, Florida's skill floor being a bit higher on some of these maps. And now a very, very important pick next for Florida with the 3-2 breakpoint advantage.
Exactly. And unfortunately for SoCal, Utami was not able to kind of skill gap the rest of the lobby on this one. Just seemed like not Utami's map, had a tough time with it as well. And it feels like when you have the kind of worst supporting players on the side of SoCal, you do need to stick with maps that you know Utami can perform well on. Otherwise, it's just a team diff.
Yeah, that map really shows that exact fact that if Utami's not carrying, SoCal is very vulnerable. So what do you look at in this pool if you're Florida to try to find another map kind of similar in that regard? Do you go that Hard Rock one that you have mentioned a couple times, or do you maybe stay in a hidden pool if your team is feeling this solid on hidden? You've got the hidden 2, which has kind of got some flow and some aim and some tech aspects to it. Or do you go down to the Fremont pool, I guess, and you go with the very short, very, very fast Snow Note Fremont map?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I had a few picks in mind potentially for Florida, and this one was not on my radar, so... yeah, this one is going to be a very fast Fremont pick.
This, speed, we kind of talked earlier, right? We had the DT pick that Florida looked very good on, especially Crescento. Now, granted, the Hard Rock 2 pick is kind of speedy as well, but not anything compared to this, which is the most. I think this is the most similar BPM, right, to the DT2, 268, 264. What
I will say about this map is it's speedy in terms of aim. There aren't any bursts longer than 5 notes, so there's not actually any speed in your traditional sense. There are a couple flow aim patterns towards the middle of the map that are deceptively easy to miss on, but it's going to be more of an aim challenge rather than a speed challenge. And so Matthew in for this one makes a lot of sense, has kind of been their secondary go-to aim player on the side of SoCal.
Meanwhile, for Florida, you've got Dora and Crescento. Who would be, for this type of map, your third member? It was Araxi last time, but it's going to be Digital Hypno coming in this time. So changing up the free mod roster on both sides with Matthew coming in. Wait, where's Utami? He's coming to replace Matthew. Yeah.
Gonna be seeing Headstack, Hard Rock, you're cute on the head.
How many times have they done that? It's like 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. They're just having fun with us.
And let's see, Digital Hypno Hard Rock. Almighty Door Hit, of course. Crescento Nomad. Crescento went Hard Rock with the previous free mod, so they swapped that over to Digital Hypno this time.
And the Crescento Hard Rock is definitely more of an outlier. I do think this makes a lot more sense with what Florida has been doing so far in the tournament. Every single free mod almost, except for the last one, I think, they do have either Digital Hypno or Eggsart taking the Hard Rock for their team. And wow, early on in this map, we see misses everywhere. Every single player has dropped, I believe, except for never mind, Crescento is gone, so it's just Utami now.
And the everlasting concern when you're in this matchup, can Utami outcarry our solid team roster on this map? And, well, we're halfway through. He has built them up about a 40,000 point lead with this continued SS on the board, and it's a full reset for Florida.
Wow. And Utami
I would say it just doesn't matter what anybody else does. It's just the Utami factor is too strong.
Yeah, and I was just going to say Utami hit all 3 of those flow aim sections. I think the only person to do so. No one really else able to keep up with the aim ability right now. And, you know, I think we should look at somebody else for now. You're cute. Building up 100 combo again.
The 100 got dropped,
no! So. I tried my best.
It's okay. It happens. It's still an FC because, of course, it is. 2 100 FC for Utami, and nobody over 468k for Florida. Now, if you regress Utami to the mean, this is a very, very closely contested map compared to his teammates. But, you know, much like that silly poster on the r/NFL subreddit who tried to regress Patrick Mahomes to the mean, you just can't do that when you have a massive outlier. You have to let them do the things that they do and retain those statistics, because this is what happens when you let them just go out and, you know, beast mode it.
And as much as we do love to talk about Utami, it's just a beast in all these matches. Can't forget about the other members of the team there, because you're cute as well. Put up a pretty good performance on the hit, and I think getting the 3rd highest score in the lobby, only behind Florida's no mod player. So best modded score, and it was just actually really good supporting combos. I think even if Utami has missed, it wouldn't really have mattered because SoCal did have the support on this one.
Well, I mean, it was 258k on Headstack versus 320k on Digital Hypno, so
yeah, it would have been close.
It would have been interesting. It would have been interesting to see what might have happened if Utami hadn't, you know, casually full comboed. But that ties it back up. Quick break point back. Some of these very fast maps allow for quick little swings, just like that one. And SoCal's next pick is like, how do you try to figure out who's good at what and who's going to do well on what at this point, with teams just going back and forth like this?
It's really tough. I do still want to see them go for the DT, and that is what they're doing. DT4 is the pick.
Yeah, this was, of course, another one of their picks from yesterday, which they looked pretty solid on, with Utami again putting up a great score, but Headstack also following it, and Yercute even. Really good scores from all 3 of them in that match, with the team score ending up at 2 million, which in this stage, like 2 million is a pretty decent score.
And I think this map was played yesterday, like you just mentioned, and I think this is actually very smart from SoCal, because Obviously, they don't know what Florida can play, but their lack of information has some information in itself. We know that Florida knows all of SoCal's scores, so the fact that Florida has already picked two maps that were not played in yesterday's match and has avoided picking, some of those maps that they know what SoCal can do indicates that Florida is definitely not confident that they can beat SoCal on this. It definitely might be close, but I like what SoCal's going for.
Yeah, I think it's totally reasonable for them to pick stuff that they played yesterday. Just, it's confidence in their own team and their ability. They know that they're going to put up a good score, and it's, that's totally fine. It doesn't matter if the other team has seen what they did, because they're like, yes, we will have a good score on this, and we just dare you to try to do better.
Exactly, and it's not like anybody really struggled. It was, Utami with the S rank, other two players with the S rank, high accuracies, both got above 500k, and so that kind of score usually comes down to potentially one, maybe two misses, and so SoCal, we could definitely see them put up an even better score than they did yesterday.
I would like to see that. I like seeing high scores, even in these late rounds. It's really always very impressive when you get those 2.5 million point scorers. So we've got Crescento, Rampton, Digital Hypno. I do like that roster for the Florida side. We hadn't really talked about them very much going into this pick. Rampton with the early break, but should be a player who is more than comfortable with the speed of this. This is the fastest map in the pool. 300 BPM is no joke. We'll see how he can do after the early miss. Maybe settle the nerves down a little bit.
And there's honestly not that many bursts in the pool, so not being able to miss those does hurt your score quite a bit, but will only drop you to 300k, at the minimum, assuming you only miss on the bursts.
We did see an early-ish break there from You're Cute, so he will fall behind again, missing in fact. So double FC on Utami and on Headstack, but Florida will take the lead with a double FC and Rampton with a solid backing combo. And Crescento with very solid accuracy, 98 plus. Digital Hypno a little farther behind, but not the worst. Rampton, of course, carrying with his accuracy over his combo, and there's a break from Headstack, so it is, guess what? It's down to Utami, and Florida doesn't really let that happen the way that some other teams might.
No, they have two players right there matching. Rampton isn't far behind either, and so this score lead is going to be absolutely massive, and I think You're Cute is already underperforming the score from yesterday.
So here, about halfway through, that lead is continuing to grow. Finally, Digital Hypno finds the break, so door status slightly open, perhaps, for SoCal?
Open a little bit, but they're going to need one more miss out of Florida, and I want to watch You're Cute on the burst. Has been struggling. There goes two players from SoCal. There goes one from... Oh, everybody from Florida drops. It's just Utami holding the FC. All of a sudden, SoCal has a chance back into this. 200,000, the score deficit. And Utami on the FC has about 400,000 points to be gained. There's so much time here.
Yep. He has a lot of score left, and he also has now... well, what, 100, maybe 2 100s away from the best stack in the lobby, and he's actually holding an FC to back it up. Dangerous territory here for Florida. They can't do much but watch and hope that Utami doesn't FC, because if he FCs, I believe he pulls this back.
Oh, 100%.
Unless his team completely runs it down.
Honestly, I don't think it matters. Utami should have so much score potential with that accuracy. I mean, approaching 1.5 million, something like that, especially with the Digital Hypno miss, that's actually really big.
Yeah, it
goes back over. And
yep.
SoCal going to be pretty thankful to secure this point. It was very, very nearly a break point.
Yeah, this one was very, very close until, I mean, it ends up being over 100k win for SoCal, but that's really just the Utami effect of having an FC. Because, I mean, if you look at the scores on Florida, like, they were all better than the second best score on SoCal. But when Utami is 500k above anyone else, it doesn't really end up being valuable enough to take the point. And, for Florida, like, you're happy with that score, but you're unhappy that you had to go against an FC and lost the point anyway.
Yeah, and I think SoCal, despite the win, You're Cute and Headstack are both going to be shaking their heads a little bit. I think they both have pretty heavily underperformed their scores from yesterday. They are going to be very thankful. Utami was able to pull them through that one, and so going to be looking to possibly just reset here. Florida now with the pick, and honestly, I do kind of want to see them go back to the hiddens, like you mentioned earlier. I think the hidden 1 or the hidden 2 could both be good picks for them. It does feel like they have such a strong hidden lineup. You know, Araxi and Almighty Door, two incredible hidden players, and then having potentially Hypno or Exarch to fill that slot. It's just such a strong lineup.
It's really kind of a shame for Florida that there isn't like a traditional hidden 1 or even like a traditional Nomad 1, honestly, in this pool, because I really think that's a skill set that they could abuse against SoCal. Their aim seems very, very strong, but they're not able to really make full use of it because there's just no aim in this pool. And now we're going to see something completely different. We're going Nomad 5, which is AR8 CS8.
Yep, and this is just going to be another A map. So this is a very interesting pick. So back in, round of 32 and round of 16, when we had those high CS, low AR Nomad 5s, SoCal actually banned them out in both round of 32 and round of 16. And obviously, as the tournament went on, pools got a little bit more wacky. We did kind of stray away from having those crazy like high CS, low AR maps, but now that they're back, I think this is a really smart pick from Florida.
Yeah, I think gimmick precision, is just not a skill set that a lot of people have.
No.
So if you just have like one person, maybe two, who have a decent score on your team sheet on this map, then you're content picking it because the odds are the other team doesn't.
I do think we could potentially see Matthew put up a solid score here. I do think that is the second player to watch out for on SoCal. I feel like Headstack is a little bit more of a fill on this one.
Yeah. Matthew, generally speaking, pretty solid at low AR reading, and Utami, of course, as well. I think the big thing to watch out for is honestly just how small these circles are, because that level of precision is something that you just don't encounter very often.
Yeah.
So
I think the other thing to look out for is that this song is terrible, so all 6 players have to suffer.
Yeah, this is now the second Kraus song we've had in a pool in USC over the years. Was it More Death back in 2020, I want to say, it was in a pool. And now we're getting Bum here in 2022.
And yeah, this is the map. It doesn't really get harder, doesn't get any different. The entire map is just these kind of weird sliders with aim in between. This is from Utami, Matthew, Exarch as well.
What do we think the top score is on this?
I'm going to say 300k. I feel like Araxi is going to pop off here.
Maybe so. If Araxi's in for something, Florida wins it, right? Hasn't that been how it's gone so far?
I think it has so far.
All about the dubs.
Hypno does find the miss, and all of a sudden, I think the combos are pretty even a slight edge over to SoCal, and Headstack is making me eat my words a little bit. Called him out as maybe being the fill player, but is the only one holding full combo. Exarch finds a miss as well. Matthew trades it, but that's going to be a pretty good trade for SoCal because Utami has recovered very nicely. Oh, and there goes Araxi, last FC down.
Oh, goodness. Okay, this is really desperate hours now for Florida. SoCal has an FC and a 200 combo on Utami, and Digital Hypno is the best combo for Florida at 140. And there's another break from Exarch, not able to build any combo back up. This is looking like, maybe a bit of a gamble of a pick, I guess, if you're Florida. It's a gamble of a pick if you're anyone. Finally, Headstack finds the break near the last quarter, but Utami's still holding, and that's going to maintain the 100k lead because only Digital Hypno has any sort of combo for Florida, and now he doesn't either.
Honestly, it's not really working out for them, but it didn't even feel like a gamble when they picked it. I think Headstack is putting up such a good score and is honestly just not the player you'd expect to be doing so well on a map like this, but is doing so right now, and that's going to give them a huge lead here, especially Utami ends up with a 600k score. My top score estimate was little bit off.
630k. I mean, your top score estimate would have been like not unreasonable in a world where Utami didn't just one miss 630k that.
But even
It
then, it's 450 head stack, 400 from Digital Hypno. So clearly, these players are better at CS8 than I expected.
which is something that you don't normally expect people to be good at, but I guess, it happens. And just like that, we've gone breakpoint, breakpoint, 1 point breakpoint. Like, we're just, I guess, SoCal said we're gonna win 3 maps in a row. Now they're 2 points away from sending us to the bracket reset.
They are, and I will say, I think at this point in the match, it does start to get a lot harder, it feels like, for SoCal to really find good picks. They do have the HRs, but I don't really think the HRs favor them in this one. I think Florida has been the better Hard Rock team throughout the tournament. Maybe we see them go for either a DT1 or a free mod 1.
I could see... Ooh... DT1 feels so risky because it's just so hard to have any semblance of consistency with those patterns. But Fremont 1 is AR 7.4, and somebody has to run hidden on it. So, like, what do you do?
I mean, I do think we definitely could just see Matthew tank the hidden on that. Has been their go-to low AR player, and then, I mean, Utami is obviously a pretty good low AR player himself, could put up a good no-mod score, but there is always Almighty Door, the ever-stable low AR hidden player for Florida that could put up a very good score against Matthew, and it's going to be the hidden one instead. And this map is, honestly, I don't know how anyone plays this map. It is so hard to read. I was watching Otto play this map. I couldn't follow it still. Clearly not a hidden player.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, of course, this map yesterday, and we saw a very closely fought, it was 27k? I mean, this was the first pick of the match. Utami put up, I think it was somewhere around like a 440k on it. But, man, you just miss on anything in this.
I think when you miss on one part of this map, I feel like you just chain miss an entire section because it just keeps flowing. I mean, this map is overlaps, reading, streams. It's so tough.
And I do think that this is something that there are probably players on Florida's side who can do reasonably well on. And we already saw it super contested against Florida yesterday with Conrad putting up a 416k. Like, that was only 20,000 points behind Utami. And Almighty Door, low AR hidden, like, reading player?
I think so. I'd be shocked if Almighty Door didn't play this one. Although I honestly would expect Araxian over Digital Hypno, but it looks like I'm going to be proven incorrect. Very quickly.
Exarch Door, Habib. I'm actually a little surprised to see Exarch in on this. I mean, good at hidden flow aim, but I don't normally think of Exarch as like a low AR hidden player, but I guess probably competent enough. Tommy, Matthew, you're cute. I'm assuming that's the same as yesterday, right? Tommy, Matthew, you're cute. Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Well, this is, again, pretty important type of situation in the match because if SoCal wins this, they're at match point in this first set. Florida wins this, they are, kind of back on serve, as it were.
Honestly, this map only gets harder, so...
The intro is difficult, the middle is difficult, the ending is difficult. So, where do you get your free combo? And the answer is not really anywhere.
Suffice it to say, entire map, very difficult. Digital Hypno versus Utami right now. Everybody else is struggling quite a bit. Almighty Door has recovered very nicely, and it's going to give Florida a big lead here.
There's something really aesthetic about watching Digital Hypno's cursor control on maps like this, even up until he breaks, I guess. All right, well, now it's Utami's turn to try to take over here. 500 combo, unmatched. And the lead should be able to go back over to SoCal.
Very tricky section coming up here, though. Curious if Utami can hold on through it. If he can, it's going to be a massive score lead for SoCal because there's not really any combo left. There goes Utami, but so goes everybody on Florida. And honestly, it's just the whole lobby that drops on that section. And it's just going to be a 20,000 point score lead for SoCal.
This is so tightly contested now. The combos are basically dead even. It's, I think, a slight advantage to Florida because of Yercute. And now because of Utami, who finds a break at a bad time. Florida all now back up over 200 combo. They will be able to take a little bit of a lead here. But can they hold on to it into the ending where the map just continues to be incredibly difficult?
If I remember this map correctly, there's a very tricky section coming up again in about 15 seconds. So if we can see one person from Florida hold on to that section, they're going to be looking really good. Utami is really struggling with this ending, whereas everybody else has recovered. And so it's kind of 3 recovered combos from Florida, 2 from SoCal. Digital Hypno is going to be trading finally, but has done enough for now to get a good lead over Utami. They need Exarch or Almighty Door to miss. They're running out of time very quickly, though. 50,000 the score lead now, and it looks like it might just be the point for Florida.
Exarch and Almighty Door just continuing to hold on into the ending. Almighty Door breaks, but it's traded with Yercute. Matthew had just broken before, and even with Exarch breaking at the end, it does not matter because the entire lobby resets and chain misses. And nobody hits any of the ending. Wow, that was more red X's on a screen than I think I've ever seen in my life. That ending was not good for anyone in the lobby, but it was okay for Florida as a team as they end up taking the win by 100K, and that puts us back now on level footing. It's 5-4 SoCal, but it is Florida's pick, so they will be able to tie this up with their next selection. That was a wild ride from start to finish, as you would expect from a map like that.
I mean, you would certainly hope they can tie it up with their own pick, but they do still have to perform on it.
What do you go here, man?
I mean, do we ever see Florida go for the free mod 1 now?
Well, they lost the Nomad 5, but they won the Hidden 1. I could see it. Or, I mean, technically they could also go Hidden 3. They have won 2 Hiddens now. Clearly looking like the superior Hidden team today.
Yeah, Hidden 3 picked earlier, but Hidden 2 is still an option. They do have the Hard Rocks as well, but I don't think Florida really wants to go for the Hard Rocks. You know, CS 8 again in Hard Rock 3. I don't think it's really something most people want to play.
No, it is not.
Okay, they are going for the free mod 1.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, you just bank on the fact that you have won, you know, the low AR hidden map, I guess, and your team maybe feels better at reading on this particular day. This map is so freaking hard, though. I mean, Air 7.4, like, that's... I don't care if you're run Hidden or Nomad, that's still really difficult.
See, it is tough, but I feel like players that are good at, you know, AR8 and are very comfortable reading that, for the most part, don't see a huge difference between reading AR8 and AR 7.5. I think it should be readable, especially now that we're getting rid of the Hidden. It is Nomad. It is a very rhythmically challenging map, though, and so that is what we'll have to watch out for. Obviously, Utami, always a player to watch out for, having put up a really good performance on the last very rhythmically challenging map.
We'll see. It looks like we're set. So we got Exarch, Door, Araxi, so that's... Exarch, Hard Rock, Door, Hidden, Araxi, Nomad, I guess?
I think so. It's
Utami, Nomad, Matthew, Hidden, Headstack, Hard Rock?
Yeah.
Wait, does anyone go easy on this?
I don't think so. To me, it feels so difficult on easy, but you never know. No, okay. There's no easy, but Utami going for a comfort Hard Rock did not have to take it.
Well, I mean, if you're comfortable with the circle size, which is what, 6 point... No, not even 6 point something. It's like, I don't know, 5.6, 5 point... somewhere like that with Hard Rock? I guess feasible. I mean, it's not like this is a CS5 where it's, you know, suddenly you're forced into playing CS 6.5. CS 5.59. Okay, I'm just gonna call it CS6 or CS 5.6. I mean, close enough.
Make your life a little easier, but now that's going to have to be the key we have to watch out for. Is that overmod going to pay off for Utami versus Araxi here, who is also holding the FC? Right now, we are just seeing the hidden players trade misses. This map is brutal on hidden, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, the hidden players kind of just get thrown to the wolves on this map. Like, you're just not going to have a good time unless you're a specialist. But so far, you got double FC against double FC with Nomad Hard Rock against Hard Rock Hard Rock. That's a break from head stack. That's a big one. We'll see how long XR and Araxi can hold the double FC because it's only Utami standing in their way. And Florida will be able to take a bit of a lead. There goes, okay, Dor Araxi Matthew. And now it is XR versus Utami, Hard Rock versus Hard Rock. XR holding the advantage, actually, 2% higher rack.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty sizable. Good for 30k now, but oh, Araxi finding chain misses is really going to hurt them. Drop a good 3% accuracy here.
Oh boy, this is going to be very close. There's the break from Exarch. That's huge because that means Utami now is unopposed. Exarch was holding off Utami for so long, but not anymore.
Exactly, and even Hunter is recovering set. Never mind, Hunter does drop as well as Matthew, but nothing really matters as long as Utami can hold on. There's no combo on Florida. Only combo on SoCal is Utami, and only a quarter of the map to go. Oh. Okay, there goes Utami. That's a pattern.
Oh, there's combo. This is going to go over. Araxi and Exarch have both recovered at least a bit. It's 200 combo on Araxi, 175 on Exarch. And the lead goes back over, but the multi-door with a couple breaks near the ending. This is going to be kind of scary, but as long as Araxi and Exarch can hold, it'll be all right for Florida.
Even accuracy drops could matter, though. It's only 20,000 score difference. There goes all three players, everybody except for Almighty Door drops, and I think that's going to seal it. Florida should just be able to get this point now. There's a little bit of map to go.
They've got Almighty Door with 140 combo. That's enough. Does finally break, but there's no combo on SoCal. Unless it's a chain miss ending from Florida, they've got it in the bag. It is a chain miss from Florida, but I don't know if it's the worst thing in the world because there's a couple misses more from SoCal. And 40,000 points is all the margin that it takes for Florida to hold on and tie the match up 5 apiece. 1 pick left now for each team in this first set of the grand finals.
Yeah, and honestly, it just came down to the hidden players in the end. Matthew really struggled with that one. Almighty Door doubling Matthew's score, whereas the other 4 players kind of cancel each other out.
And now... oh boy. What do we have left? Let me look.
Well, we've got Hidden 2, we've got a couple Hard Rocks, and the DT1. Technically, there's no Mod 1 as well, but I would be a little bit surprised. I mean, it is just fighter tech. The more that I think about it, I don't dislike it. It does feel like the kind of map that Utami could put up a really good carry score on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, with Utami being Utami, No Mod 1 is not the worst pick, not the craziest pick in the world. You know, Hidden 2, of course, they won yesterday, but I have clearly been hesitant to pick that here today and have lost a couple of Hiddens, so I don't know that if you're SoCal, you really feel comfortable with the Hidden 2. You know, Hard Rock 1, Hard Rock 3, neither feels like really a great option. I mean, maybe you do just go DT1, but that would require you to have a lot of faith in I'm not even sure who for SoCal. I think it's almost the No Mod 1 pick.
Yeah, I think surely it has to be either the No Mod 1 or DT1. I don't think really any of the other 3 options left make a lot of sense. I mean, the DT1 is just an alt map, and so that's very scary into a player like Araxi, who you know can perform on those, but we're going to be getting Hard Rock 1 instead, and this Hard Rock 1 is going to be the map that they did ban out. Clearly, we see that they banned it for the length, and not because they couldn't play it. Because this Hard Rock map is so long, at 5 minutes, it's a lot less mechanically intensive, and so it does just become a consistency battle.
And I don't know that either of these teams feels like they have any sort of advantage in terms of consistency in this matchup. Like, they've both gone so back and forth. That being said, I'm pretty sure the way Crescento's been playing in a lot of picks, like, he's going to come in and destroy this map. And I think Digital Hypno is probably good at this as well, right?
Yeah, Digital Hypno,
Ult.
yeah, has been a really good, has had some really good scores on the Hard Rock. Not necessarily on Hard Rock Ult, but I'm sure he can probably play it, Exarch even. I mean, it does get a little bit scary for SoCal because when you just look at these two lineups, you know all three of the players on the side of Florida. Maybe they aren't the most comfortable with this map, but you know all three of them have played some Hard Rock throughout the tournament, can play the Hard Rock well, whereas SoCal feels like SoCal have really been avoiding Hard Rock pretty much all tournament. Obviously, Utami and Headstack can play it, but URQ has not really been a Hard Rock player for them at all tournament, and so some questions to be asked on whether URQ can perform on this one.
We're gonna be throwing it in right now, and we'll find out. I think I like the three-man roster from actually Florida a little better on this pick.
I would as well.
Utami and Headstack have been putting up really solid scores today, and if URQ can come through in the clutch, it would be pretty massive for the side of SoCal. Because whoever wins this map, of course, has a single match point. So there is some importance. And it's just going to be some traded early breaks. Exarch, URQ, and Headstack. But Crescento, Digital Hypno, double FC. Actually, wait, Crescento's a little bit behind. I'm not sure if he broke or missed slider ends against Utami.
Pretty sure that was a slider and did not see any breaks there. And early misses aren't going to matter too much, but I think what is somewhat concerning is that Exarch has found two big misses, does seem to be a little bit less comfortable on the map than the rest of these players so far. Possibly just some unlucky early misses. We'll have to see how that plays out here.
Yeah, you know, you kind of want to keep an eye on everyone, but you also want to remember that with this being so long, as you said, little breaks when we're not even at, you know, past like 400 combo yet are not the end of the world in a map this long. But you try to judge that comfort level. Look at the accuracy, 98, 98, 98 for SoCal, 96, 97, 96 for Florida. Does that mean Florida's less comfortable with this, or does it mean they just dropped a couple more hundreds in the intro? Hard to say. There's double break. URQ and Headstack.
We're far enough into the map now. This is going to be the first real advantage for Florida, and they're going to start slowly but surely pushing this score lead ahead because URQ just finding chain misses now. Having a tough time recovering, and there goes Headstack as well, second time for both of those players.
I mean, this was your concern that you mentioned, right? Was URQ maybe not having his best day? And unfortunately, that trend seems to be continuing a little bit, at least to the first third of this map. There is a break from Exarch, so one of those big combos gone for Florida, but they've still got Digital Hypno and Crescento on a double FC against only Utami, and URQ continuing to break more and more.
There goes Crescento. That's a really big drop for Florida. Digital Hypno, last FC on the side of Florida, and so all of a sudden, SoCal has a chance because if Digital Hypno misses, Utami holds. They have so much time to bring this one back. We're only still a quarter of the way into the map.
This one is so long. It's Digital Hypno. It's like just a heads-up 1v1 between Digital Hypno and Utami, because if one player breaks and the other holds, that score gap can really fly one way or the other in no time at all once we start getting past the halfway mark into that last third of the map.
No!
And,
on the slow slider!
On the slow slider!
Oh, that feels so bad. Oh my god. And
Well,
this score lead should go back over so quickly. I mean, 1,000 combo is pretty massive, especially with Exarch finding another miss. URQ even matching Crescento, and now it's Florida who's really struggling to make the comeback here.
yeah, there's no combo on Florida now. It's Utami with the FC, and URQ finally able to recover some combo. He's at nearly 500, so trying to shut us up, trying to silence the haters and the naysayers. And it's a 20k lead for SoCal. They're not out of the woods yet as URQ breaks, but as long as Utami's holding, then they're going to be okay.
I mean, honestly, with how little combo there is on Florida right now, if Utami can hold for another 300, 400 combo even, I think the map is just over for Florida. And there's less time in the map left than I thought, so even another 15, 10 seconds of Utami holding is just the end of the map. URQ and Hunter missing again, but it does not matter. It feels like SoCal is outmatched in terms of the team, but the team is Utami, and Utami does what Utami does best, still holding the FC.
Utami is just the solo carry on this. It's remarkable what he's capable of doing. And with a full reset within the last couple hundred combo from Florida, it is now pretty much just a matter of whether or not SoCal can FC. Okay, SoCal can FC, whether Utami can FC. I mean, he is SoCal. That's not that inaccurate, I guess. But
No.
yeah, it's just a matter of whether Utami can FC. Has this map even been FC? Does it even have FCs?
That is a fantastic question. I will find out for you.
Nope,
in a second.
nope, it doesn't. There's no FCs in this
good.
map. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. There's
Man.
literally no FCs on this map, and Utami could put up the first FC with Hard Rock.
That's just... I don't know. I have no words. I mean, what can you even say at this point?
Utami really doesn't want to lose 2 tournaments in the same day.
It's true.
He just doesn't. Yeah, alright. 0 FCs on the map on Bancho, and Utami comes into a grand finals and FCs with Hard Rock to give SoCal the one and only match point in this first set of the grand finals. That's absolutely normal. You see that every day. Utami is making the extraordinary look very, very ordinary.
And not only Tommy, but I think Yercute actually did a pretty good job. You know, Yercute and Headstack did match those other 2 lower scores on the side of Florida. And so doing their part to help out as well.
And now, Florida, last pick.
I feel like it has to be Hidden 2.
Nope, it's
Do you know?
DT1. It's just instant
Why
DT1.
not? They're confident with it.
I can't imagine being confident in this map unless you're like Aryu or Wubwolf, maybe. There are so few players in the world who would be confident with this map. I Know Where You Sleep DT is old DT map, just incarnate the geometric patterning of 2009 rearing its ugly head, and it's where Florida's going to make their last stand in this first set. If they lose this, we go to the bracket reset, but if they can escape it, they get to a tiebreaker.
They do, and in terms of lineups, I feel like we probably see Raxi for Florida. I think he has been that kind of strong alt player for Florida. GT alts, you know, a little bit different, definitely a little bit trickier patterns, but would make a lot of sense. On the side of SoCal, hard to say. Maybe we just see Yercute come in again?
I'm really not sure, to be honest, who plays this. Like, it's not a map style that we've seen at all. So it makes it a little harder to predict who's going to be in for something. But
oh, Matthew,
like,
that makes so much sense, actually. I kind of forgot Matthew was on that team, to be honest.
yeah, he's a player. He plays DT sometimes. And of course, this is only 9.67, remember, because this is Air 8 before DT. So easy enough to read, but everything else about it is not fun. It's awkward aim just over and over.
It is unbelievably awkward, yeah.
And we will get Utami in here, hopefully. And there we are. All right. Reminder, match point, SoCal. If they win this, we go to bracket reset. If Florida wins this, we go to tiebreaker.
I think I actually like this, this roster from SoCal more and more as I think about it. There is a little bit of a speed section in the second half of this map, and so Matthew, I expect, should be pretty okay to hit that speed section. There goes Araxi and Headstacks.
Yeah, it's just traded on that wiggle pattern. Oh, okay, everybody missed the first big pattern. Nobody hit it, so advantage. Literally no
but
one. It's
Matthew
expected.
is so close. Only
Yeah.
missed the 2 last notes. That was kind of nuts. And, you know, with that first hard pattern comes big accuracy drops across the board. Exarch now down at 89, Headstack down at 87, and really it's Matthew and Utami up at 96, along with Araxi and Crescento. And I think accuracy is going to play a big part in this match because we're probably going to be seeing everybody. Oh, Tommy hit it. Okay. That's wild. As I
Yeah.
was about to say, I expect we're probably going to be seeing misses in all the same sections. Utami, he hits it anyways, and this finger control section isn't too difficult. Exarch does find a miss on it, and Crescento as well, actually. I'm surprised to see so many Florida drops on that part of the map.
And that, I think, just ends this. Like, Utami hitting that pattern and having this much more combo than literally anyone else in the lobby just means that SoCal takes the point.
100%. And we are going to bracket reset. SoCal going to be taking it 7-5. What I want to know is, can anybody hit the ending pattern? And the answer should be no in theory.
If somebody hits the ending pattern, I don't know. Yep.
There we go.
Crescento hit it.
No
Crescento
way.
hit it, by the way.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That
That
is
is
nutty.
not legal. That was insane.
The score
That was
almost
actually
came
close.
back.
Yeah, that was very, very close because of Crescendo hitting that entire ending. He went up to 400k. Like, that's a really respectable score. But 65,000 points is enough for SoCal. And, well. We are getting a bracket reset, which in USC we are no strangers to because this happens every single year. I think last year was the only year we didn't have a reset in the grand finals. It just seems like this is the script. And once again, SoCal 7-5, and they will force it. And players maybe get a couple minutes to think about things because I want to catch your breath and try to sort out what you want to do for strategy going into the next set.
Yep. Will this one guy ever change the USC script? Will Florida turn the tables and win the second match? Find out soon.
Yeah, so well done to SoCal. We are going to take a brief break. It's going to be, I believe, about 5 minutes or so. So 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific time. We will be back. Get some water, get a snack, settle yourself back in because it is going to be time for the bracket reset, after which we will crown the champion of USC 2020-2022. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to USC 2022 Grand Finals. We are here with the bracket reset. Florida, of course, losing that last match 7-5, first loss of the tournament. So SoCal now going to be on the red team, and no warm-ups for this one. We are going to be getting right into pick ban, I believe. And I'm iFlame, joined by this one guy. What are you looking for in this bracket reset?
Well, we talk about it a lot, and I'm just going to talk about it some more. Utami high-rolled a ton of maps in the first set, which is a big part of why SoCal was able to take it and force the bracket reset. Can he high-roll some of those maps again, like he did on Nomad 5 or DT4 or FreeMod 3? Or can Florida maybe make up a little ground on some of those maps and flip the script and turn the tables and maybe take the reset?
Yeah, and do we think we see any different bans from either of those two teams? I mean, do we potentially see something like a hidden one ban out of SoCal? They did look a little bit outmatched on it, but hard to say.
There were a lot of pretty close maps and a lot of stuff where it came down to, one or two players at most, making the big difference. If Utami doesn't FC Hard Rock 1, that score looks a lot different than a 483,000 point win for SoCal. Same thing if he doesn't put up the score he does on No 5, it doesn't end up being a 400k win. It does feel like SoCal had all of the big wins in that match, though, right? Like, Florida's wins were all by, I think, under, 250k, except for DT2? So...
Exactly. And it's because when Florida is winning their picks, they're winning as a team where they're just have the better team scores all around. Whereas when SoCal is winning their lot of picks, it is just off the back of Utami putting up a full combo, whereas everybody else is down at 400k, and so that's an immediate 500,000 score difference. So I really do think the pressure is on Florida to change up something here. I don't know if you can just stick with the same bans and expect a better results, because there were some very decisive maps, and I mean, maybe something like, the DT4? Utami with 3 times 1, or what was it? Yeah, DT4 with Utami 3 times 100. You probably expect him to FC that again. I don't think you can rely on Utami choking it, and nobody on Florida was even close to FCing that map. So I do think you have to ban that out as Florida. What ban do you replace, though? I'm not sure. And they're going to be banning out DT3, actually.
It's the same first ban for both teams. Or, well, it's not the same first ban, but it's the same bans. And SoCal keeping the same bans, actually. FreeMod 4 and Nomad 4. So SoCal says we're content with what we banned in the first set. Florida with the DT3 keeping that ban. And they keep the... Okay, it's the same 4 bans. Everything the same. So no adaptation in the ban phase based on the results of the first set. That's very interesting to me.
Yeah, don't know how I feel about that. I mean, obviously there were a lot of close maps that could have gone either way, but there were definitely a few maps that it feels like Florida just kind of got blown out on, and I guess they really don't think they have any chance on that No Mod 3, so are going to be keeping that ban. We are going to be getting first pick out of SoCal.
And let's see, so first set, their first pick was Nomad 2, Awkward Aim. It went fine. They won it by 166k, which when only one person went over 300,000 points is a actually relatively significant margin.
Yeah, I think you actually go DT4 here. It was a later stage pick, but Utami just looks so comfortable on it. Unless Utami ship misses, really, because not only was it Utami, but they had supporting combo there as well. So even if Utami doesn't FC, there's a decent chance they win that, but they are going to be sticking with the No Mod 2 for now.
Yeah, they say, all right, it's just daring the other team to improve their score. When you win the first time around, like, why not just stick with what's working, They always say never change a winning strategy. And SoCal is just going to abide by that in this bracket reset. You got Utami, Matthew, Yurcute. Utami at just shy of 500k. Matthew 276, Yurcute 195. See if they, the supporting scores can improve. But Florida had no one over 300k. So yeah. SoCal's like, fine, we'll just keep this up.
Exactly, and you really do just need somebody to step up on the side of Florida, but who is that supposed to be? I don't know. The map is really tricky. I don't doesn't feel like they have anyone that really lends themselves to that skill set.
I think Araxi probably is a player to watch out for. His aim looked pretty good over the course of most of that set, and I think he can definitely improve the score he got on this map. Also, obviously, Digital Hypno, very, very strong aim player, can also improve his score. You know, if he doesn't chain miss in a couple different sections like he did the first time around, who knows, maybe those two can put up scores to try to match, you know, that gap that Utami established over Florida with the 500K.
Yep. Definitely possible, but I also think Matthew is going to be looking to put up a better score here as well. Only had 275K last time around, but 3% higher accuracy than anybody on the Florida team, so just some unfortunate chain misses, and we will find out shortly. SoCal looking for a run back on the Nomad 2.
This is now, what was I just saying? The 5th bracket reset we've seen in USC history, and several of those have been won by the team in losers bracket. So SoCal looking to keep up that trend, Florida looking to prevent it and repeat, which is also something that I don't think a team has ever. Has a team repeated as champions? Did NorCal win in 18 and 19? I think they did. So, got a little change in that, maybe.
There you go. We got the USC history, but You're Cute, Digital Hypno, Almighty have all found misses, and we can see Matthew already looking a little bit better, but the real hard part now is coming up, and this is where we want to see if Matthew can improve that score, or if we just see the same thing again, because Araxi has a chance to hold on.
Yeah,
it's such a tall order matching Utami. That is what is needed.
Yeah, Araxi was the player I said to look out for on the Florida side. It looked like he kind of got his groove going throughout that first set, even though they ended up losing it. His aim looked pretty solid, but as you pointed out, it's a tall task to try to match Utami, and Utami's a player who typically doesn't fall off. Like, if he gets a score, he's more than likely going to be able to put up something similar again, but there is a break, and Araxi holds on. So it's going to be Araxi trying to bring this over to the Florida side. Everybody else breaking all over the place, but Araxi is just not missing. Finally, unfortunately, breaks at the 2/3 mark. That was a sick combo, and they're still 70K behind.
That was amazing, but really, it's Matthew, like we called out. 3/4 of the way into the map, and is already pretty much at that score, so is still having some trouble building up a good combo, but has found a way to get rid of some of those misses. You're Cute and Almighty Door are struggling so much. Digital Hypno as well, just cannot hold on to any combo. And right now, there's no combo anywhere, and Florida's having such a hard time making up the score difference.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything left that can be done here. It's a 100K lead for SoCal. Utami's actually struggling with this. I'm kind of eating my words here, I guess, on his consistency in scores. He's going to be 100,000 points behind what he did on the previous couple of times he played it. But thankfully, the scores are better from the teammates. Matthew putting up over 300K, You're Cute at 270K. That is a big improvement from both of those players, and so they were able to carry the backing score for SoCal. And Araxi, top scores at 431K, very solid performance, but unfortunately they just didn't have the backing score on the side of Florida. And SoCal, once again, that is now 3 for 3 on Reishiki. Take the 1-0 lead.
Most improved, most impressed by You're Cute on that map. I mean, bottom scored the team, but it is a team game. Every single score matters, and You're Cute was able to improve his score from 100K between now and the last match. That is not an easy task, especially when the scores are, 200K to 300K.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. I'm impressed by SoCal just improving as a team, I think. Florida first pick. broke something? What broke here? Oh,
It looks okay on my end.
I unbroke. I broke something on a sheet. Sorry, I don't mean to like aside, but I unbroke it. It's all good now. So
been saved.
Florida first pick
DT2.
was DT2, and Florida's going to keep the same first pick. I think that's really good. Crescento was a madman on this in the first set with the FC with 98.6 AC as well. That was a really good score, and I think he can do that again. He looked very comfortable on this pick.
Yeah, we did see both of these teams trading points back and forth for I think the first 2 points before we saw breakpoints traded. So I do think it makes a lot of sense to both teams to just stick with their same first 2 picks. There's not really any need to change that. It's when we get later into the match that we're going to start to see teams going for different picks here.
Yep, I agree. I think, well, I mean, it's what I said before. You know, no sense changing a winning strategy. If you have maps that you won previously, just pick them again and just dare your opponents, hey, we won this before, we're gonna do it again. Like, see, I bet you can't improve enough to beat us. And it's, I think, just gonna be everything the same on this. Like Crescento, Ramton, Digital Hypno against Yurku, Utami, Matthew. And, well, there wasn't much that SoCal could do on this last time, so expecting that to be similar this time if Florida can hold up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, I think potential key players there are going to be both Utami and Digital Hypno. Digital Hypno only getting 500k last time, but 1 miss, I think, and maybe 1 slider break. So it feels like there's a lot of room for Digital Hypno to improve his score on this one.
Yes, I agree. I think there was a slider break in there. I think you're right about that. So in addition to the 1 miss, because his max combo is only 298, so clearly there was a break that wasn't a missed circle. And he's the type of player who I think can definitely improve that sort of score within a match, especially going into a reset, trying to reset the mental a little bit as well.
Unfortunately for Digital Hypno, there is of course the other side of the coin where Tommy had a 98% 1 miss, so there's a chance Utami just FCs as well.
Even if Utami FC'd though, Florida still would have won last time. I'm pretty sure he would have made up like 400k, and they lost by 540k. So yeah, it's like actually not the end of the world, even if he FCs if you're Florida. Like, you're just saying we're gonna do what we did before, and we're gonna let whatever plays out on the other side play out how it may.
Crescento has found an early miss though. Not gonna be replicating the earlier score, but there goes both the supporting players on the side of SoCal. Utami already the last combo left.
Bro, the AC gap between Utami and Digital Hypno, 100, 200s against 95 AC. That's going to carry SoCal into a little bit of an early lead here, but the combo advantage is on Florida with Crescento recovering.
Yeah, luckily for SoCal, Ramton did find an early miss, and so thanks to that, they're not going to be too out of it. And if we see a miss from either Digital Hypno or Crescento, they should be able to bring it back. Utami is going to have a lot more score than Digital Hypno by the end of this map, just off of that accuracy.
He's up by 100k, but it's just Crescento holding the huge backing score. There goes Utami. It's a slider break, I think. And Digital Hypno is going to hold on, and that's going to be Florida. It's so close to the end. That's just the map right there.
A little bit improved scores from SoCal, but just not enough, as Digital Hypno this time talked about improving the score for Hypno, and certainly did so.
Yeah, there's improving the score, and then there's going from 478k bottom score on the team to an FC. Like, that's, or what, early slider break, I guess, an S rank, nearly FC. It's like 15 combo in. Also, Crescento, man, 830k, and Ramton putting up a 532k. Like, those are solid team scores for Florida. It's just really well done. Utami, I feel really bad because, I mean, 99.34, that AC is outrageous, but the slider break was enough. And it wouldn't have mattered, again, wouldn't have mattered anyway, because the team score was just so much better for Florida.
Yeah, I have to say, though, I'm impressed by both teams so far. I think it's really easy when you have a bracket reset. It's just so much playtime that it's really easy to get tired and put up overall worse scores, but from what we've seen so far, both of these teams have been putting up better scores than in their last match.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, I don't know about other players and what tournaments they may have been in, but I mean, we think back, you know, about 10 hours now. Utami played in that epic Corsace Grand final today that went to, what was it, 7-5 and then a tiebreaker in the second set. I mean, that's 25 maps right there. And now he's doing it again. Like, having the mental and physical Osu stamina to spend your entire day and still be putting out great scores is really very impressive, I think, at this stage.
GT1 though, this is something that was left up for so
Ooh.
long, pretty much until the end last time around, but SoCal gonna be going for a very early pick.
This is such a scary pick this early. I mean, yes, they won it, but it was 65K. I mean,
I, I mean, the only way I can see this being a good pick for SoCal is they must surely feel like they heavily underperformed the first time around, and they're going off the assumption that that is what Florida can do on the map. I don't think you ever pick that second otherwise off of a 70,000 point difference. But when you actually look at the scores, it's, 30 misses for a head stack, 16 for Matthew, 5 for Utami. It doesn't really seem like there's a lot of easily improvable scores there. So I'm really shocked by this pick. We'll have to see how it turns out.
I am personally not a fan of this pick unless they like went into practice in between the sets and magically learned how to be consistent on those ridiculously tough, wiggle patterns. I think this is really, really a high volatility pick. And I don't think I love it personally, as Exarch is playing Hard Rock 2 for some reason.
Oh, yes.
We haven't even played that this set. What the?
Client does what client wants.
All right, well.
I mean, I think the other thing that's potentially scary for SoCal on this is Araxi hit the ending pattern. That is no small task, and so Araxi clearly has a lot of potential to put up a really good score on this map.
Yeah, the potential is super high for Florida. The potential feels higher for Florida on this than it feels for
Absolutely.
SoCal. But, we could just be completely wrong, and SoCal could just hit everything. All right, Utami hit the first thing, but Exarch did as well as Araxi. That's impressive.
Yeah, last time around, no players hitting the first wiggle. This time it's 3, so improvement already, and right now it's going to be Florida with the edge.
Yeah, they take the lead over. Now they've got a little while until the next one hits. Ooh, Exarch breaks on that wiggle. That wasn't one of the hard wiggles either. That was one of the easier. This is the hard one here, and Utami and Araxi both hit it, as does Yercute. All right. Well then, that's fine.
Yercute hitting that is actually really big because, theoretically at least, from now on until the next wiggle, should be relatively easy for Yercute to build a combo on, but drops anyways.
Or not.
Yeah, it's just going to be resets across the board. Light lead for Florida thanks to Exarch at that 130 combo. If either player, though, can hold through this ending wiggle, it's going to be so massive. And there's a good chance this honestly comes down to whoever can hold on in the wiggle longer. If we see one player absolutely choke the entire wiggle and one player get halfway through it, that could be the difference. And here we go.
Ooh. I think Florida's just got this, man. Oh, we're actually... Oh, Tommy, no. Okay, he didn't.
Oh. So
if
close.
Tommy hits that, they actually might win, but
I think they do.
And that is going to be... the risky pick, not paying off. I really didn't think that was a good pick going in. And, obviously, hindsight being what it is, but I really felt like Florida looked like they had a better roster for that. And Araxi with the 685K, doesn't matter. The Utami put up 817K. It was just a better team score again from Florida.
Yeah, and I think this is where one of those cases where I don't know if you can really say hindsight is 2020, even just looking at the scores put up by both teams and watching how they performed, that Araxi can probably put up a better score on this. Exarch as well improving, and so I don't know that was ever a good pick. And now Florida has a chance to get out to an early lead. They are going to be going with free mod 2.
Yep, Florida just sticking with tried and true here. They picked this pretty early on. Was this maybe, I think, their second pick in the first set, and they won it by 227K, so it's going to be their second pick here again, and they're going to try to win it by 227K again, you know what I mean? Like, Araxi put up a score, Crescento put up a score, and that was more than enough to do the job, and they're just looking to do that same thing again.
Yep. And really, Araxi and Crescento was more than enough to overpower Utami, because it seems like Headstack and Yurkute have a pretty tough time with the aim on this one. I will say though, in order for Florida to win this pick, Araxi and Crescento need to have repeat performances, because if you get 100k, even 200k less, that opens the door for Utami to put up another 700, 800k score, and all of a sudden, it's going in SoCal's flavor. Mods, of course, going to be exactly the same for both teams.
Yep, you are on the side of Florida, just hoping to get the same results you got last time, or at least similar, and hope Utami doesn't improve and that his teammates continue to have a rough time, which is, again, going to be the case. This intro has just not been friendly to Headstack and Yurkute like any of the now 3 times they've played it. Florida, though, having a little more trouble. They did get an early break from Araxi, and Almighty Door has broken a couple of times as well. But now recovering the combo on Araxi and Crescento, and just, you know, they're trying to take Utami out of the equation by making it so that you have 2 players doing well against opposition that has 2 players doing extremely poorly.
Exactly. I mean, Araxi and Crescento have the combos, and that's what matters. Almighty Door is struggling, but you don't really care. He is kind of that throwaway player that has to tank the hidden mod, and so you don't need you don't need Almighty Door to put up a big score. You just need the players Crescento and Araxi to beat Utami, and they're doing a pretty good job of it so far.
Yep. Araxi and Crescento trying to just kind of reprise their role for the first time. There's Tommy breaks on the Buzz Slider. So maybe it wasn't a Bancho miss. It likes to miss on Buzz Sliders, but it's not coming back, so it looks like that was a real break. And despite Crescento Almighty Door breaking, Araxi is just going off on this again, much like he did in that first set. Did have the early break, but he has recovered and is building that lead up more and more for Florida.
Yeah, and it looks a lot worse for SoCal now because of where Utami missed. Assuming he can hit the ending, it's probably going to be score capped at around 650k, so even less score potential there, and Araxi just looks so good on it.
Well...
Oh, never mind.
Did look good. He did look good on it. It's okay, Crescento has got some backing combo. He's actually still in an S rank, is Crescento. I hadn't realized that he only had a slider break or 2, but quite impressive stuff there. And it's just continuing to be, unfortunately, Headstack and Yurkute not having a good time on this pick. And Utami missing where he did, as you said, really score caps. And unless Crescento breaks right now, basically, and Utami FCs the rest of the map, it's effectively going to be over pretty soon.
It should be, but we did see Crescento miss here last time, and he does it again.
And again.
Utami
Those wide jumps, man, with Hard Rock.
Utami has a chance, but I think has to hit the entire ending in order to bring this one back. It's going to be so close otherwise.
It's 100k, but I think he's got about that much score left if he FCs, which I just don't expect. That's so hard. But if anybody was going to do it, it would be Utami.
Looking good so far. The pressure is on now. Score bar getting ever so much closer.
From Almighty Door.
He's doing it. Score lead going back over. Just
Utami's doing it.
Just needs to go a little bit farther. 1 jump section left. And the score lead flips at the end, I believe. There it is. Utami is... Oh, he misses.
Wait, Almighty Door's got a little bit of combo. Hang on.
No, he breaks. He misses. Everybody misses.
And it's Utami brought it. No, it's Utami brought it back, and it's going to be enough. Whoa, 26k. Utami clutches it out with the 642k score, despite the best efforts of Florida. Araxi and Crescento just not able to do what they did the first time around. And just like that, you thought they might be able to put themselves in the driver's seat with that 3-1 lead. SoCal says, no, sir, not on our watch. Not when Utami's got a combo in the ending. It's tied up 2-all just like that.
No, Utami clutches up just long enough when it matters. I think if Utami gets 20-30 less combo there, this is a very different match. And now SoCal have the pick, looking to get some momentum back. We could just see them opt for their second pick in that Hard Rock, I think it was Hard Rock 3 that Utami popped off on.
Yeah, popped off on Hard Rock 1, obviously. We knew about that.
Oh, yeah.
That was the FC. I think, assuming that's the one you're thinking of.
I think it is, yeah.
Because they did not play Hard Rock 3, right? Yeah, they... Or yeah, no, they didn't play Hard Rock 3. He popped off on Hard Rock 1, which was the first FC on the map ever.
You're right. Yeah. Okay.
But maybe take a little time here if you're SoCal and think this through.
Yeah.
This match is gonna kind of go the same way maybe as just a little earlier, right? Last time it was the first 4 picks and then a run of break points, and now it's the first 2 picks and a couple break points. So we're just accelerating things a tiny bit.
Speeding up the process.
Although we've still got to get to, 7 points, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah. One way or another, teams are gonna end up tied up.
What is the pick gonna be here? It's Hard Rock 2. SoCal's been liking this one.
Yeah, this is the pick I was looking for. Second pick for them in the last match. Utami, 800k on the map, looks so good, but this does put a lot of pressure on Utami. I think it was, just double check quickly. Yeah, it was Lego Kami and Headstack, and they both had a little bit of a tough time on the map, but really it was Digital Hypno that really struggled on this one and dragged Florida down.
Yeah, I have to scroll up to look at it as well. Okay. And, I mean, again, it's asking the question of Utami, because the other scores were very similar. Like, Lego Kami put up a respectable 415k, Headstack at 333k. Similarly, on the other side, you had Crescento 429k, Exarch 387k. But Utami made the big difference on that one. And Digital Hypno, we saw what Digital Hypno did on DT1 DT2, excuse me, improving his score from last time. So maybe he does that again.
Possible. This one doesn't feel quite as improvable though. Did find 13 misses last time, struggled with the accuracy. I think SoCal are going to feel pretty comfortable in this one because Utami, even if he can't repeat the 800k score, I don't think it's pretty unlikely Utami gets less than 600k. And assuming you get 600k, your teammates match their scores from last time around, and you're still winning by a good 200, 300k even.
We are gonna see. In we go. Identical rosters from last time. It did feel like Florida was not warm for this pick last time. They had a lot of trouble getting into those early bursts and streams. And now that you're this far into the match, maybe that'll change up a little bit. And you see 3 breaks on the 1/3 jumps. It's Exarch, Lego Kami, and Headstack. So again, Utami. But now it's against Digital Hypno and Crescento, so Florida, him.
Here goes Crescento now. Digital Hypno versus Utami. We have seen this before. Utami was the winner last time, but Digital Hypno.
Digital Hypno was the winner last time on DT2.
Oh, right, you're right.
Yeah.
I guess we've had multiple Utami versus Hypno.
We have had that happen a couple times, yeah. Well, I would, generally speaking, favor Utami in a 1v1 against Digital Hypno. No offense to Habib, who is a great player in his own right, but Utami is on a different level. However, the Digital Hypno USC Grand Finals buff is not to be ignored. And the recovered combo is also not to be ignored. Headstack, Lego Kami, Exarch, and Crescento have all recovered quite well.
Oh no, that's huge. Digital Hypno finds a miss, and Crescento, Exarch are there to back him up, but with SoCal recovering, it's going to be a really big score lead all of a sudden. And Utami, the last FC, has so much score potential coming towards the last third of this map.
Yep, there is 500k left for him. There is a break from Lego Kami and from Headstack. Okay, that is enough score between Exarch and Crescento that they will take the lead over, especially with Digital Hypno recovering up to almost a 300 combo now. Exarch does break, though.
Yep, that's going to put a little bit of a damper on things, because all of a sudden Utami is far enough ahead of Crescento that Digital Hypno can't make up that difference. Headstack finds the miss, but Lego Kami holds, and as long as Lego Kami holds, it should be enough. There goes Exarch again, and Hypno misses, and I think that's probably going to be it.
Crescento kind of just lurking as best he can, because there is no backing score for SoCal at all. So if Utami breaks, this is comebackable, but it would have had to happen like on that burst that just went by. And it didn't, and Utami's gonna FC because of course he is. Shoutouts to Crescento, but...
Yeah, I was about to say, 700k on this map is so good.
That was, again, just improvement everywhere. SoCal went from 1.5 million to 1.9 million, Florida went from 1.1 million to, what was that, 1.7 million. I mean, like you said after a map a couple ago, the teams are both improving. They're both playing really, really well. But SoCal just a little stronger across the board on that one. It's the big difference again. Utami with 300k over Crescento, the top score from Florida.
I mean, I think that's so terrifying, especially when you've had so many maps last time around that were decided by less than 200,000 points, when all of a sudden everybody is putting up better scores, better combos. It's really hard to know what you can pick, and it's really hard to go into any map feeling super comfortable that the other team won't put up a better score on it as well.
We are going to go back to Hidden 3, which Florida won last time around.
This is an interesting pick because while Florida did win, it was the Araxi show. Araxi and Apraxia. So it's Araxi, but he can play speed now. That would be terrifying, actually. Anyway, go on. That really would be. One day, yeah, maybe. But yeah, it was the Araxi show last time around, I believe. And so Araxi is going to need to do the same thing again, because even with Araxi putting up a huge combo, I'm pretty sure the score was still really close.
It was 167k.
Exactly.
And I will say this about that, though. It was a decisive 167k because the highest score was only 315k.
Yes.
The team score for Florida, who won it, was 926,000. So while it was close in terms of the score gap in context of what you can get as a score on a map, it really didn't ever feel like SoCal had a chance to win that. I mean, Yercute finished under 200k, and so it'll need to be an improvement from SoCal on the backing players, and it'll need to be an improvement from Utami as well. And if Florida holds the way they did last time, they should be in an okay position on this once again.
Yep. Florida looking to have, I'd say, a slight advantage coming into this one, but doesn't matter how you feel going in. All that matters is how well you click the circles.
Time for the players to click those circles and let us find out. We will watch keenly. These patterns are very, very difficult to aim. As you see, multiple early breaks: Exarch, Araxi, Yercute, Utami, Matthew, Almighty Door, Hidden Legend, Almighty Door.
Absolutely. I think this is somewhat expected. Almighty Door finally drops as well, and this is a repeat of what we saw last time. Everybody struggled really heavily on the beginning of the map, and then things did smooth out as we got farther and farther into the map. So I do expect to see some bigger combos building up as the map goes on, but right now, that big combo is Araxi, Utami not far behind, and everybody else, no combo to be seen.
Yercute did put up a combo better than any combo he had last time they played this, so good to see that maybe a little more comfortable for him this time around, but has gotten a couple breaks since then. And Araxi, man, Araxi was holding a big combo, and it does not end up paying off, and now it is Utami Matthew taking on Exarch Almighty Door. And that combo is enough for Exarch and Almighty Door to bring us back over after Matthew broke.
Definitely should be. It's going to take a little bit because Utami is still on the FC, so that combo is worth a tiny bit more than either of his scores, but it should eventually go back over as long as we don't see a miss from either Exarch or Almighty Door, especially because Yercute and Matthew keep change missing, whereas Araxi, we know, can put up a decent score on this map, and we do expect Araxi to recover, whereas Yercute and Matthew are a little bit more of a concern.
Score lead does finally go over, but just in time for Almighty Door to miss. However, Araxi's recovered quite well, and there's still zero backing combo for Utami. And okay, there's the break from Araxi, and it's going to go over now as long as Utami holds. Exarch breaks immediately after. Oh, danger. Oh, this is dangerous. It doesn't matter what happens anywhere. We're just going to be watching Utami now halfway through, and the lead is minuscule, but the combo lead is huge.
Yep. Utami is, it's Utami versus the world right now, is not going to accept another 300k performance. Okay.
Oh.
Sorry, Utami.
the University of Thomas has broken, and Almighty Door actually has a solid combo. It's 290 going up to 300, and the score lead is only 30k for SoCal.
Yeah, it's going to go back.
A break from Exarch, but as long as Almighty Door holds, this score gap will start to creep over.
Should hold through this slow section without too much trouble as well, barring any like really int misses, because Araxi now recovering, matching Utami's highest combo on SoCal, and You're Cute, nowhere to be seen, finds the miss, there goes Exarch, but it doesn't matter. Almighty Door holds. Score lead is not going back over. I think it's just accuracy right now that's keeping SoCal in this. It's going to be really close, but with the combo, it should be enough. It's going to be really close. I actually don't know.
It's 97 AC on Utami versus 94 AC on Almighty Door. So the fact that Almighty Door is up by 200 combo hasn't been enough. And there's the break that might just seal it. Exarch and Araxi both find breaks immediately thereafter. SoCal's going to take the point unless they like chain miss the ending and lose score. Compared to Florida. Florida has to hold as best they can and just pray, and it's not going to work as Araxi chain misses himself.
Almighty Door now too, and I think it's getting, the score bar is shrinking. I think
worse.
if Araxi doesn't chain miss there, they have a chance, but at the end of the day, Utami, the only one who recovers enough to get any good accuracy in the ending, and going to be a break point for SoCal. All of a sudden, up 4-2. Where have we seen this before?
Yeah. Yeah. 505K. This. All right. Well, Utami's still doing Utami things, and that's just scary. I don't know. It's the story of SoCal.
Feels like that has been SoCal this whole tourney. It's always been a question of, well, how many maps does Utami top score? How hard does Utami carry this one? And he's doing it again. I honestly, at the start of this match, I really did have my doubts whether Utami could put up the same kind of carry performances against the likes of players like Exarch and Digital Hypno, but so far has been able to do so, looking to continue to do so in this match, but this match is far from over, lots of maps left to be played, and so this is still anyone's game.
Yeah, I mean, SoCal still needs 3 points, and that is not a simple thing. You have to find stuff you're comfortable with, and you have to, get the same scores you did before, hope that Florida doesn't improve, that sort of thing. Let's see, what have they not picked yet that they picked before? Where are they likely to go? Honestly, if you're SoCal, do you take the Fremont 3 pick away? Florida took the hidden 3 that SoCal won, or that SoCal picked last time.
I mean, it's an option, but hidden 1 from SoCal?
SoCal picked this and lost it in the first set. And this was one of those maps that we talked about where, if Utami gets his normal score, and if You're Cute can improve, it could be very easily flipped over to a SoCal win from a Florida win, because You're Cute was down at 236k, 49 misses, not a great showing. So if he improves that, this map is all of a sudden incredibly close.
Yeah, but last time around this match wasn't like Utami just barely missed out on the carry. It was really a team difference, because all 3 players on the side of Florida were able to put up 350k scores, and those are all respectable scores. We saw Matthew and Yurko both struggle to get that to that 300k mark, and I really dislike this pick from SoCal. I feel like they have a lot of options left in the pool that last time around they won super decisively. Something like the Nomad 6 they won by 600k, something like the Hard Rock 1, I think they also won by 600k. Even the DT1, which they won by something like 600k as well. It feels like they have so many options, and so going for this HD1, I'm not sure about it, but maybe they can prove me wrong.
Yeah, we talked at the beginning of this match, right, about how it felt that SoCal's wins in the first set were much bigger than Florida's wins in the first set. They were winning things by 400, 500k, whereas SoCal was scraping by with 100k wins. And the fact that they're deciding to pick a map that they lost, I don't know if that just shows a ridiculous level of hubris on their part, or if they just are secretly, were hiding their true skill on this map and they're going to just pop off this time.
I guess you never know. We could just see Tommy drop a casual 700k and be like, yeah, just messing around last match, guys. Don't worry.
Well, let's find out. He might do just that. The guy's capable of crazy things. That being said, I think Florida can definitely improve the score they got before, even though they won it already. I think there are definitely better scores possible for pretty much all three players. And with SoCal full resetting in the first 100 combo, Florida's gonna not start off with a lead, actually. I don't know why, but now they will eventually take the score lead over. Please make me not sound like an idiot. Thanks.
Yep. I think what happened there is Almighty Door is the last one with the FC on Florida, but was very, very close to dropping. It got something like 1050s on that stream, and so just dropped a ton of accuracy. And so that FC wasn't actually worth that much at the moment, but has recovered now. And oh, double miss out of Florida, though, and it is actually Utami holding. Even Matthew is looking a little bit better.
Well, it was looking a little better.
Yep, did find the miss.
All right, and there goes Digital Hypno, breaking on that pattern. And, man, like, what am I supposed to talk about here, guys? What do we discuss when the same thing is happening for, like, I don't know, 19 plus the 27th, 26th time in a row? Like, this has just been the way every map this weekend has gone.
You know what we should talk? Well, one, Utami found a really big miss, so it's just combo resets across the board, but also watching Digital Hypno play this map, I think you said this last time, it's so satisfying.
Yeah, he has spent like an inordinate amount of time perfecting his cursor movement. I know he's discussed this on his stream. He, you know, like the auto method or whatever, right? But he also talked about how like he used to watch replays and they would have this perfect cursor movement, and so it made him want to make his cursor movement also that perfect. And so it's led to him having this really aesthetic cursor movement. The problem is it's not helping him when there are two people on the other team who have 350 and 400 combo, and it's Matthew and Yurcute. Like, it's not even Utami.
Exactly. These are the two players that really struggled last time, and all of a sudden they look so much better. They both miss, actually. Okay.
Wait a minute. This is definitely comebackable. Florida has a lot of combo.
It's going to go back over so quickly. Almighty Door just needs to hold a little bit longer. This part is not that hold. There's a tricky stream coming up, but I think there's enough time to get the score lead back over before the tricky stream. Here it is. How many people
there goes Florida? No. Exarch is holding. Exarch and Utami are matching, but Matthew had some backing combos, so gave the score over to SoCal. And now it's just Exarch versus Utami in the ending. Exarch breaks. Utami also does, though. And the ending, everybody just misses all of the notes. And Florida lost score on the ending. Again, that was the same thing that happened last time, and it went the same way. And SoCal takes the point, and now that is a 5-2 lead that looks a little bit frightening.
I think it looks more than a little bit frightening. It is Florida's pick, but I mean, honestly, I think it's fair to say I still am not a huge fan of that pick for SoCal, even though they won it. But because they won that map, it means they still have a lot of picks open that should be pretty decisive points for them in theory. And so that makes it really scary for Florida. And all of a sudden, Florida needs an absolutely massive performance out of nowhere in order to bring this one back.
And they picked DT4, which they lost last time. All right, both teams in a row. We've got the teams both picking a map that they lost in the first set.
You know, I think these teams clearly know something that we don't.
Well, so let me, real quick, since I have it here, I'll recap the first set result on this. Utami FC, but Yurcute 455k, Headstack 411k. Meanwhile, on the Florida side, Crescento 664k, Ramton 612k, Digital Hypno 563k. It was one of those situations where Utami just dragged his team kicking and screaming to the win, and if anyone on Florida had had a slightly better performance, they could have won it. So I can kind of see where it comes from. You're just expecting your team to kind of have that improvement compared to the first set, and you're expecting the other team to have maybe a little bit of improvement, but they can't improve that much when their best player already FC'd.
Yeah, I think the improvement does have to come from Yurcute and Headstack, and I mean, they have shown so far in this match an ability to improve their scores, so it's certainly not impossible, but going to be difficult against this Florida team. We are going to be seeing Ramton back in for this one, along with Crescento and Hypno.
I think it's just the same exact rosters as before. I don't know who would swap in this. It seems like the players who are comfortable in this type of map are the ones who were in before and are the ones who are going to be in again now.
No, we shouldn't really be seeing any roster lineups for the entire match, I would say, compared to the last one. One thing I actually do want to watch out for is Yurcute really choked the first burst last time this was played. And so I think if Yurku manages to hit that first burst, that's already an improvement of like 30k to 40k score, assuming that he doesn't drop a ton of accuracy and plays about the same the rest of the map. Making a lot of assumptions, but we'll see. There you go. You're cute. Okay.
It breaks immediately after.
I just need to.
Oh, the misery. Oh, Brampton over-aimed. No, he literally just, his cursor was just to the side of the circle. That was very sad to watch. I was like somebody trying to, make a putt in golf and just pushing it straight right. Like it was just never going to hit. Oh, God. All right, well, it's 2FCs to 2. So nothing really gained either way. It's a combo advantage for SoCal.
Yeah, pretty much a mulligan on that one.
Florida.
It is. Hack advantage last time around as well. They do seem to be slightly more comfortable on the pick, but there is always that threat of Utami. You need someone to put up, I think, at least a 750k score to match that.
Yeah, I think you need your top score to be like 750, 800k, and you need your other scores to still be at 600 to 500, 600k. And Crescendo breaking right at the 1/3 mark is not going to help that, but Headsec does trade it. Brampton trades immediately thereafter, though. And now it is Utami and You're Cute, and just Digital Hypno trying to do what he can, desperately attempting to hold on for Florida as the lead will start to grow for SoCal.
I think at this point it's very possible that we need Digital Hypno to FC. I think something Digital Hypno is capable of doing, but it's going to be tricky. Headstack does find another miss into the next tough section here.
When Digital Hypno was called upon on DT2 a little while ago, he answered the call. He came through in the clutch with flying colors with the FC. So it is something that he's capable of doing, but the problem is he's at 96 AC. 99 on Utami, is not something that he's going to be competing with. If they both FC, Utami's going to have a huge score lead because of that AC difference. However, there's no backing combo for SoCal at all, and there goes Digital Hypno. It's over. Goodbye.
It's done. It's 6-2 for SoCal now. They are on match point all of a sudden with the pick. And there's nothing Florida can do but watch as Utami just does it again. I mean, you had to know Utami would do it again.
Utami is just kind of inevitable in this tournament this year. No matter what, it just seems like he's always there, putting up a top score in the lobby. Even on maps his team loses, he's making them competitive by himself, and on teams they win, he's the reason why. And if he FCs this map twice in a row, okay, he didn't. He missed on the square, and then into the burst act, but it's fine. And that's going to be...
I think still improving his accuracy by like 1%.
Yeah, he is. It was like, what, 97.75 before, and it's 98.65 now. Yeah, he improved by 0.9. He halved his 100 count. Let's just say that. He halved his 100 count.
Pretty much. And
that's messed up.
To be honest, I mean, as good as Utami has been performing, this doesn't feel like it should be a 5-2 match right now. It feels like Florida not only underperformed in that last map, but I think a couple of missed picks as well from them is making this a lot more one-sided than it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, Florida actually got a worse score, right? They lost this in the first set, they picked it again, and then they got a worse score on it.
Yep.
Like, I have to question that, I guess.
Of course, SoCal got exactly the same scores they did last time. It's not like they improved. Florida just
they got what, 8k away from the exact same score? That's messed up.
I mean, do we ever see? I mean, I think it has to be one of either. Hard Rock 1 again. Yeah, Hard Rock 1, potentially no Mud 6, maybe. DT, if they're feeling really ambitious, there is that DT. Oh no, DT is picked already. Don't mind me.
I think it's Hard Rock 1. I guess it could be No Mod 5. Oh, No Mod 1. Yo, let's go.
Okay.
I really wanted... I don't care how this actually ends up going. I just wanted to see this map. So
see, this feels like a pick for Utami. I'm going to be honest. I think it's safe to say that throughout the match, Florida has had the higher skill floor. The team of SoCal just seems to be a little bit skill capped on some of these picks, and I think this is a little bit of a skill cap map. It's really tricky, and so I think this is kind of... Utami needs to perform here. Not only does Utami need to perform, but there's a chance Utami will have to match at least 2 scores on the side of Florida. I don't know, this map is really hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing easy in it. 7.64 star, real easy, like 200 BPM tech map. You kind of already, you don't even have to actually like know anything more than that.
Hey, you got slider tech, you got aim control. Some very tricky space patterns.
Utami's score on Bancho on this is actually not great. He has like a 95 Act 3 miss. I mean, granted, it's 11th on the leaderboard, but by, you know, like, top-tier tech player standards, it's kind of not amazing.
No, but then I think the question becomes, can anyone on Florida play the map? Because I don't...
No.
It doesn't feel like they have any standout players that you'd expect to put up a good score on this.
I don't want to just count a team out. I never want to be the one to just count a team out, but I just don't think Florida has anyone who can compete with Utami on this.
I don't think so either.
It's really unfortunate to feel like I have to say that as the answer, but I just don't think that they have someone. Unless, like, a Raxi or Digital Hypno or Xarc, I mean, I guess that's who they're going to have in. Like, unless one of them just has a career run of this pick, I don't think they have anyone who can really hold up to Utami on this type of map.
I think Florida does have potential, though. I mean, Lego Kami has not played at all this map, is going to be in for the first time, so curious how Lego Kami will do. And Matthew as well. Both of those players do need to pull up some supporting combo. Utami not going to be able to 1v3 this one. It's not that much of a difference. But Matthew is going to be finding the early drop, and everybody on Florida holds through that first section.
There's Xarc, though. First break on the side of Florida. Digital Hypno and Araxi still holding on with good accuracy on Araxi as well. 98. Best act in the lobby so far. So 2 FCs against 2. A little bit of combo advantage, though, with that Matthew backing score. It's going to bring the score back on over. Whoa! Something Lego Kami does find a miss. So, Florida is gaming.
Yep, we have a very tough section coming up, though. Araxi misses so before the tough section, and so eyes on Digital Hypno. There goes Digital Hypno as well, and Utami as well. So all the time that's close.
It's dead. There's no combo anywhere. So who's going to be the one to build up some combo here? It's somebody somewhere. Surely we'll build up some combo, and it's Utami and Xarc, and Utami breaks. Okay, Xarc flow aim legend coming in with the combo in that's sort of second quarter of the map.
This is a really big opportunity for Florida here. If Matthew drops, then Xarc and Digital Hypno can start to run away with this. The combos are so small right now, but oh, there goes Xarc. That's really big.
And Araxi.
Hold on.
It's Matthew, though, matching Digital Hypno, and Lego Kami with a pretty solid backing combo. Utami's starting to build back up. It's going to be the lead going over to SoCal, but Matthew and Lego Kami both break, and it goes right back. Digital Hypno, actually
and there goes Utami.
Player.
I think that's it.
It's going to be break point. How about that?
And all of a sudden, Florida has a really big chance to make a comeback in this match. If they can win their own pick, which you would hope they have the ability to do, all of a sudden, it is 6-4, and
wait, everybody from Florida broke. Wait, one quick second. Just wait until the map's actually over. Because if Utami hits the ending and Florida dies,
possible.
Nope.
I don't think there's enough time though.
Nope, not anymore.
There he goes.
There was a moment there where it felt like there might have been time. There was a very, very brief moment. All right. Well, SoCal gets a little ahead of themselves, I guess, with that pick. Probably a little bit of an underperformance. I don't think they expected the 198K from Lego Kami, but Florida did what they needed to do. That's 346K and 346K from Xarc and Digital Hypno, matching, twinning over there.
Florida has the challenge now of finding a map to pick. Obviously, their last pick didn't work out. So what do you go for instead?
I guess you go free mod 1. I guess you go free mod 1.
And I'm really curious about the hidden 2 as well. It went completely unpicked in the last match, but I feel like Florida should be favored on it.
Yeah, I mean, how much did they win this by before? Oh, 39K.
Yeah, this one's a coin flip.
everything everything's a coin flip here at USC 2022 when one team has Utami.
I mean, that's a scary thing for Florida because all their wins were so indecisive, and I think most of their wins were 100,000 points or so. I do feel like it's potentially worth it for Florida to look at other picks. I mean, it is a risk, but being down 6-3, now is the time where you have to take risks. You can't afford to just go sit back and play the same strategy that didn't work for you last match. I think you need to switch it up and hope it pays off.
You know, there's, again, like, room for improvement for Florida, for sure. Almighty Door did not put up a great score, and I think he's capable of more. Likewise, Araxi put up a 400k. Think he can do better, too. So we will, I think that we'll see another map here where Florida has a chance to improve enough to win it again. But should probably be pretty close again. I'm curious, we're probably going to get the Overmod again here from SoCal, right?
I think surely. I think that's a comfort thing, and yeah, it's just gonna be Tommy on the Hard Rock again. Honestly, it didn't look bad or anything for them last time. They did find some unfortunate misses on their Hard Rock players, but I don't think they get a better score if Utami takes Snow Mod. So I do like the Overmod here from them.
And away we go.
Into free Mod 1 now, that low AR map. Florida with their backs against the wall, cannot lose any more points, and there goes Matthew, there goes Almighty Door.
Yeah, the everything about this map is hard. The flow patterns are hard, and the little wiggle patterns are hard, and the overlaps are hard. I mean, this is an obnoxiously difficult low AR free mod. Unless your name is Utami, you are missing. Constantly.
Yeah, and already though, this feels like a little bit worse off from Florida than they did last time. I feel like they at least had some combos this far into the match, but now they've got nothing. SoCal has Utami, and so far, that's been more than enough. And we just need to see a massive swing in momentum from Florida. I mean, they've been chain missing, and we're gonna need to see 400, 500 combos. Araxi and Exarch do both hold on through that wiggle pattern, but Almighty and Matthew trade. There goes head stack. It is a start.
It's a start, but the problem is I don't think there's a finish line in sight for Florida because Utami is still holding, and there's just nobody competing with his score. Exarch is doing as best as possible here, and is still 300 combo behind.
Yeah. Utami is the giant upon which the finish line sits, and honestly, looking up at potentially an FC on the Hard Rock here, I think only missing one section last time around, and has gotten through it now, so hits that as well.
Hits
there it is.
Pattern.
And I think this is probably going to be the game.
GG. This is GG. It's Utami refusing to lose 2 grand finals in the same day, and wanted to become the undisputed best player in North America when you win NAT and follow it up with just hard carrying your team in USC the week after. That title is pretty firmly going to be his, and is he going to close it out with a little FC here? Because why not, right?
I mean, of course he is. It's Utami. He's got to do a little bit of showing off to close things out, and like you said, I think... Oh no! We spoke too soon, but Utami, undeniably North American player at the moment. Feels like he has just been dragging this South California team. You heard nothing. You heard nothing. Through the entire tournament, it has been more than enough, and Utami has put the work in, has secured the win for SoCal.
They will reclaim their title. Got it in 2020 with the super team with Idki and Vaxe and Monko. Lost in the grand finals last year to the Florida team, but Utami saying, I refuse to lose this tournament 2 years in a row in the grand finals to the same state, and carries the squad of SoCal to now, I believe that is their 3rd USC title in the history of the tournament. And I mean, just a remarkable performance from Utami and co, because as much as we talked about him, he needed a team around him. He needed enough score, because you see other players that are incredibly good not getting to the stage that Utami has gotten to, not being able to win. So credit where it's due to Matthew, Legokami, Yurkyu, Headstack, and Chizaron as well for putting in the work, for getting the scores they needed to allow Utami to carry enough points that they could take match after match, even with that loss in the winner's bracket, make the loser's bracket run, and win the grand finals with a bracket reset.
Ultimately, that is a big team effort from SoCal, so I think they should all be very proud of themselves. It has been a fun tournament, though. We've seen lots of upsets, actually, all over the place. I mean, Washington with a big upset to even make it to the grand finals despite getting third, so it's been a good one for sure.
Yeah, we saw Washington really stepping up, ending in third, getting to the winner's final. We saw the run from Iowa that was incredibly fun for a lot of people to watch, getting, what was it, I want to say top 8 for the first time, or top 12 for the first time. You know, we saw some shocking upsets, like with what happened to Ohio, some great performances from a lot of different teams. It's been a fun iteration of the tournament. I mean, there will probably be people out there who will be disappointed to see the tournament end the way it did, with one player just so clearly dominant over everyone in the grand finals. But, you know, credit to Utami for getting to this level and performing this well, and really carrying SoCal to the dub.
Yeah, and as we take a look back at the bracket, it wasn't an easy road for SoCal. They had some bumps here and there, notably against Washington, where they lost 6-1. But in the end, they came out on top, I think very deservedly so. Utami very much deserves to be the winner of this tournament, as well as everybody else on the team. I do think, like you said earlier, the players did step up when they needed to. We saw some big scores out of Legokami on the DT, of course Matthew on some of these hidden picks, and just Headstack, constant strong performer on the hard rock. And so they do need the lineup to be able to give an Utami enough supporting combo. That being said, very well played to both teams. This one guy, you want to close us out?
Yes, sir. So, congratulations, of course, are due. Top 3 this year, SoCal, Florida, and Washington. Big thank you to everyone for watching, all of the players for participating, giving us an amazing iteration of USC this year. Of course, huge thank you to all the staff. Too many people to name, but obviously, you know, co-host Dada, Matt Pooler Dada, everybody that has refereed, everybody that has streamed and commentated, all the replayers. We've had a great crew this year. I think everything went off really smoothly, ignoring the big 3-week delay for grand finals. But other than that, everything's gone really well, and it's been a pretty great experience. We had a lot of great matches from a lot of great teams, and I hope everybody enjoyed, and I hope everybody will be back. Well, you know, we'll see what happens next year. I don't know where we'll be in a year's time, but for now, just a huge thank you to everyone that's been involved in this tournament, whether as a player, as a spectator, or as a staff member. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the great tournament. Congratulations to SoCal, the winners. On behalf of everyone here at USC 2022, this has been This One Guy. Joining me today has been iFlame. Thank you, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.
When the snow-crowned golden Sierras keep their watch o'er the valleys bloom, it is there I would be, in our land by the sea, every breeze bearing rich perfume. It is here nature gives of her rarest, it is home, sweet home to me. And I know when I die I shall breathe my last sigh for my sunny California. I love your redwood forest, love your fields of yellow grain. I love your summer breezes, and I love your winter rain. I love you, land of flowers, land of honey, fruit and wine. the valleys bloom. It is there I would be, in our land by the sea, every breeze bearing rich perfume. It is here nature gives of her rarest. It is home, sweet home to me. And I know when I die I shall breathe my last sigh for my sunny California.